welcome to another exciting episode of King Me Revs High Podcast. It is I, your host, with the most, as always, the Rev Dude. And today, we have someone that is truly a selfie-made man.
Ooh,
He is...
Love it. Love it.
He is deliciously vicious Vern Vicallo, baby.
All day, Rev.
All
Thank
day.
you. Thank you so much for having me. It's funny that you bring that up because I don't know how or where, but I found one of my old selfie-made man wristbands.
Nice.
Like from 2016, just like in one of my drawers, and I've just been wearing it for the past 2 weeks for whatever reason. Maybe just to, remind me of my past and where I was and where I am right now and where I'm going. So, nice. I like the deep cut. Deep cut. I like it.
Yeah, no, I try to make sure this is all fun for everyone, right? We're here for a good time, not for a long time, as they say. So, perfect cue up for me. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you know that I love to throw a few curveballs, and I had one, and it kind of, I don't want to say it got used a little bit. It got thought up, and I was like, so I got to have a second one. But Mr. Deliciously Vicious just showed us his whole affiliation with Celsius.
All day.
Boom.
Yeah. Yes. So right now I am drinking the brand new, and we're plugging this, baby. The brand new Celsius for everyone 18 and older. Celsius Summer Edition Spritz Vibe Sparkling Limoncello Twist. All right, we'll get that. We got that. Cool. Yeah, they just launched it a couple days ago. It's their summer edition. Legitimate. It's delicious. I'm a huge fan of it. And they don't pay me to say it. I've been an ambassador or an affiliate of Celsius since 2018. So we're 8 years. We're going on 8 years, going on 9, soon 10. By 2028. But I love it. And I've been drinking Celsius since I think 2013, 2014. So to be a part of the team for this long and, to be successful with them, I'm doing what I can. We're not, no, Patrick Wheatman trying to get sponsored. Deliciously Vicious is sponsored, baby.
Yeah. And I feel like you're just going to cue me up every time now, because my first curveball was, did you give Wheatman any tips on how to get sponsored by someone? Because he is starting to lose out here.
I told him, I was like, everything he's doing, don't do that. No, Wheatman is doing, honestly, in my opinion, a super solid job. I think he just passed day 90 or something like that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're entertaining. I actually went the correct route with Celsius to get picked up by them. But you know what? If he can do his own path and get picked up by them that way, more props to him. Obviously it's something he's passionate about. It's picking up momentum around New England because other people are posting ghosts and stuff for him and like making him special, like ghost cans and all this other stuff. So that's super cool. I haven't had anyone make me a blinged out can, but at shows, people bring me cans, and it's just surreal that someone, and I don't try to, boost my ego or whatnot, but someone at my level, the people going out and spending like an extra like $5, $10, whatever, to bring me some cans and stuff of something that I promote and that I love. That's super cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always difficult, especially, all right. So I'm single. Okay. I start talking to ladies, right?
There we go.
And then I have to explain, well, guess what? I'm a wrestling nerd, right?
Right.
And I always have to just bring up the fact that most people would never guess how strong and tight-knit this wrestling community truly is.
Absolutely.
And that's one of those like small things that I feel truly, adds a little extra beautiful layer and nuance to being in this wrestling community, and I absolutely love it. You know, I know recently with Wheatman stuff, he's getting ghosts dropped on him all the time by
Yeah.
people. There's, you know, she's a friend of the channel, Carly. She
Yes.
made the super blinged out peach that they're beating each other up over now.
Yeah.
And there's Razor Stickers, who's literally making all those special cans. Last night we bumped into them and we were able to borrow their his literally had a giant can that he had for hard cam. We were able to borrow that for a quick shoot because you know, JJ is the Breadwinner's Lover account on Instagram, and she has what we have is the mini Breadwinners. So it's instead of Patrick Wheatman, it's Mini Wheats. Okay. And then instead of, you know, and then it's Swagachon Jr. So it's the mini B-dubs. And so mini B-dubs got to do a photo shoot with all the different props, and people have their faces on flags and all kinds of crazy stuff. So the fact that that guy goes to shows and like he leaves with like 5 extra cans. It's kind of wild to see. The funny thing is that Cash's favorite drink is Celsius.
Oh, and, I know.
The last time I saw him, I bought them both drinks and I gave him that new summer spritz, and he's like, "Oh, sweet, the new one." And I was like, "Yeah."
After the show last Saturday, he came up to me and he was like, "Vern, what do you think?" And then we got in this, like, it wasn't an in-depth conversation, but like me and Cash McGinnis got into a small conversation of the new Celsius. And it's just like, it's wild to me, but it's super dope, you know? Huge fan of the Breadwinners. Massive. They are so, and yeah, all day. And then even, so while I'm doing commentary on APW, every time they come out and they're in the ring, they're doing their thing. Wheatman and Cash just look at me and they're like, "Hey, Vern." I'm like, "All day, guys, all day." Like, there's such cool dudes, and to know that they've only been around for a year or so, or they've been wrestling for a year, like for them, sky's the limit. Legitimately, they're so talented. Just
absolutely
for the time that they've put in so far.
Absolutely, and you know JJ and we have been trying to make sure that we bring the Japanese tradition of giving flowers to America and not just saying it, physically do it here. Last night we gave flowers to the skinny weight champion of the world, Armani Chaos, which I'm so happy I picked the right color because it matched his outfit later on. He wasn't wearing an outfit when I saw him at first, so I was like, all right, we're going to go with purple. I know he likes purple, and it worked. We did unfortunately have to give some flowers and some cards and some love and respect, of course, to my own personal goat and savior, Rich Palladino, due to the untimely passing of his beloved puppy. So
yes,
we love you, Rich. We love you, Rich. But we made sure to give flowers to Cash and Wheat because there was a time where when they were still in training that, you know, and I had them both on the podcast. The car that they had broke down, and they had to travel 5 hours a day from where they lived to Nepois so that they could train and take buses and trains and walk for miles and all this stuff. So the fact that it took them more time in the day to get to Nepois and to get home than they could even train at Nepois. Has just, you know what I mean? Just shows so much about them as consummate professionals. And they're infectious. They're so infectious. And they're just out there.
That I think that's what it was for me. That I was just like, yo, these guys are awesome. They're great people as is, for just both being 20 and 21. Great people, funny. They work well off of one another, but they're even better in the ring, you know? And again, just for their short time and their age, they're going to go places big time. And just to show that they have that much dedication, that they want to get to the school. And, like, traveling is difficult for them, but they're getting it done. That shows how much they want it. And that shows in the ring as well, So nothing but props to them. I'm salted because back in March, before scheduled, the APW show in March, I was supposed to have a one-on-one against Cash. And then I hurt my shoulder.
Opportunity knock?
Yes, at Opportunity Knocks. It was supposed to be myself and Cash McGinnis one-on-one before they were bringing in the breadwinners, like, as a team. And then I hurt my shoulder. And then I think the week going into the show, he hurt his knee at training. So that match just didn't happen at all. But whenever I get cleared, I definitely tag team with them, against them. I don't care. I need to get in the ring with the breadwinners because I feel we can do a lot of fun stuff and definitely have some magic,
Yeah. And man, I can say that I was absolutely blown away by the match that they had with Bayside and Teddy Jacks the other day.
Yeah.
Just because the gloves got to come off and they got to be 100% themselves. If anybody knows, obviously I'm a Brian Bayside guy. Everybody knows I'm a Brian Bayside guy.
1000%.
So, not to mention it was fucking hilarious. So Brian's doing his entrance. He goes once around the ring. He comes back around for a second. He takes his sunglasses off. He sees me and he chucks them at me.
Yep.
And I caught them, did this little spitting motion because I wanted to make sure I had to, I'm holding the stick. I'm trying to record. And I had to dive. I had to dive for it. So I dive, elegant spin. You get the glasses on. And I love it because JJ just looks over after me and she was just like, where did those glasses come from? And I was like, but I'll show you later.
Magic. It was just pure magic. That's awesome. That's fantastic. No, even I have Brian Bayside. I've known Brian for many years. Brian Bayside, he's another one of my favorites. And Big Bad Teddy Jacks, I can't say there's nothing bad to say about him because he's entertaining, he's fun, and he's just an overall great person. So, I'm just, and then those four in the ring together, it was a huge honor for me to call, and with all the antics and then the conga line and all that other stuff. It was fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. I bet. I almost got in that line. If it kept going,
I got in it twice. We wanted everyone else to get in it. The first one kind of a little bit short because the ref was actually counting while it was happening.
Yeah.
But now that's the fun stuff about wrestling to me,
Absolutely. And if anybody's seen the channel plenty of times, they know that one of my own personal influences and a guy that I've been able to have a few wonderful
conversations
with is Simon Miller. And Simon Miller is Goofy Wrestling for Life. He might get shit for it and I might get shit for it. And it's like, to throw another name out there, who I actually haven't had a conversation with, but Brian Zane. He says, like what you like, but don't be a dick. Right?
There you go.
If you like deathmatch wrestling and I like Goofy Wrestling, guess what? We still love wrestling, bro. We're still fucking the same. You want to get niche on niche on niche all day? Sure, whatever. But at the same point, we're still wrestling fans. We still love wrestling. Like,
absolutely.
That whole tribalism and all the other stuff. It's like, bro, put it down. Put it down and walk away. It's not helpful. So I love Brian Bayside's stuff. I love like you said, the four of them are wonderful in that match. Was fucking fantastic. I wasn't sure what we were going to see going into it just because I feel like my imagination was taken over and was like having all kinds of shit. Obviously being someone who's friends with the breadwinners, like I was just like, all right, I've seen them do this and this and this and this. Like another, and boom, another checkbox. I couldn't have loved it anymore. So
perfect. I'm happy to hear that. It's all layers. It's all layers to the onion, and all four of those guys have layers that they can just apply and put in certain situations. They can all flourish. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, my other curveball, not to kill any momentum, but my other curveball is that I was scrolling through Instagram
Oh boy.
and I found out that we both have a passion for something and we have been to a particular destination. We're able to explore this as, as fans. And I like to point this out just because, once again, we're human beings and wrestling isn't all we love. So apparently we both have been to Scranton, Pennsylvania, and we love The Office.
Yes. I
The Electric
love
City.
The Office. I was so late to the game, but now it's my favorite comfort show. Legitimately, like if I'm not watching wrestling or just like other like horror movies or just like weird shit that I'm into, for comfort, I just throw The Office on, and I can just like decompress. Love The Office. So what that was 2021. We were driving from New Hampshire. We were heading to West Virginia because we were going to a special ICP show in West Virginia. We're a little bit ahead of time, and I'm looking at the map, or like I'm holding the phone that has the map on it, and I say like, "Yo, we're close to Scranton." I was like, "Should we take a detour?" We took the detour and we saw the Scranton sign. We went in. We were like, you know what? Let's try to be tourists. And then that's when they had built or painted that Dwight mural. And I was like, I have to take a picture. So we got pictures with the Dwight mural, and it was just so surreal. And then after that, because the two people that got me into The Office were my old coworkers. Her name's Carissa and my old director, Tim. And then after that, I had just like sent them pictures. And I was like, yo, you'll never believe where I'm at. And they were both like, holy shit. So that was super cool. I want to get back there. But I don't want to purposely just drive to Scranton to drive to Scranton. You know what I mean? I want like when I get back into wrestling and I start venturing out and taking more bookings and stuff. If I'm in PA and I'm around the area, I'm gonna take that detour, travel right into Scranton, see if I can get some pizza or whatnot and just like some other stuff. Because I think we just ended up stopping at a Sheetz.
I love Sheetz, though. I absolutely love Sheetz.
The
question for Pennsylvania.
I get into, and I'll ask you because people know this about me. I get into full blown arguments when I say I prefer Sheetz, and some people say like, oh, Wawa, and I'm like, Wawa's garbage. Wawa is garbage. And
I knew we could be best friends.
Yes, yeah. I mean, bro, like. I have the Sheetz app on my phone for when we travel to the gathering, because we cut through Erie, Pennsylvania, and we go to the same Sheetz. Or if we're going to Michigan and we're not going through Canada, we go down Erie and we just curve up. Same Sheetz. I have the app. I get points all the time. I save on gas. Like it's awesome. Sheetz all day.
I love all day.
Yes.
All day. And randomly. So I went to a Celtics game last year, and we took the shuttle bus from the game back to the casino to Encore. And I don't know who the hell these guys are. But there's a group of them in the front, and I just hear mumbles. They're screaming, but it sounds like, I don't know what's going on. So I'm talking to, I have my brother and my nephew and some friends, because it was my brother's like birthday party, and we went to a Celtics game, and I wasn't paying attention to what's going on, and they were like, what are these guys saying? So I turned around and I heard Wawa or Sheetz, and I was just started screaming, Sheetz, it's Sheetz.
All day.
And everybody else around me was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, listen, I'll explain later once I prove my point to this asshole. I don't know who he is. Sheetz all day, baby. Let's go.
All day.
Way better. And not to mention, they call us freaks. How does that not?
That's just like Sheetz freaks.
Yes.
Sign me up. Sign me up. No, like I'm 100% Sheets over Wawa, and like I said, Wawa's garbage. Get out of here with that.
Get out of here. Get out of here. And so it's hilarious the parallels that so I'll have to bring it up now because I was actually supposed to make a trip to Virginia.
Okay.
And I had this whole week planned because I'm a huge baseball nerd, right?
Cool.
I love the Red Sox, right? I got the tattoo and everything, right? I'm a baseball nerd. There is the Greenville Drive in South Carolina, and there is the Salem Ridgeax. They used to be the Salem Red Sox, but they just recently changed their name in Salem, Virginia. And the idea was I wanted to go to every single affiliated Red Sox team at a home game for the year. And there's only certain times of the year where those two single A teams, the Salem team and the Greenville team, are at home. So I scouted it months in advance, picked the one September week where they'd both be at home and it wouldn't be excruciatingly painful because it's a 4-hour drive from Salem to Greenville.
Yeah.
So the idea was to drive 12 hours to Salem, watch a game, wake up the next day, take the 4-hour drive to Greenville. I have a friend down there anyway, so I'd see if I could hang out, watch a game there, then drive back to Salem, and then drive the 12 hours home. The unfortunate truth was the week leading up to it, it was raining. Rain means no games.
Right.
Like, they were expecting like fucking, we're talking hurricane. We're talking like they're expecting like torrential downpours for like a week. Right. Yeah. So I said, what the fuck am I going to do? Well, my brain was like, well, I was already going to stop in Scranton because once again, when I drive somewhere, if I can, I make sure to stop at Sheets every time.
Yes.
I'll go an hour or two out of the way. I don't give a shit. And when I realized for this particular trip that the one that I would have stopped at regardless, the closest one was going to be in Scranton. So I just made it a Scranton trip. And then I did a 2-part trip where I went to Scranton. I got to spend the entire day there and did all kinds of stuff. And
that's awesome.
Shocking. There's a ton of really good food. There's a ton of really awesome like office related stuff. There's so much stuff, and I highly recommend anybody that's a fan doing a day trip or 2 days because it's actually a very beautiful city. There's actually a lot of really fun stuff to do, and office related or not, it's just a cool place. And I actually did a whole like video of like the intro where I was just sitting there doing like commentary on it, like do. That's because you know the landmarks, right? So like it's the street and whatever else. So I just walked around town fucking recording it.
That's awesome.
And then me being the nerd I am, I actually walked around and it's September. It's like 80 degrees.
Yeah.
But I brought a fucking cap so I can put it on my head and sing Scranton, the Electric City in different spaces.
That's awesome. Hold on. Can I take it out? No. So I'm at my desk in my spare bedroom, and like you can't see it right now, but legitimately I have wall full of just all the office pops. Let me grab this one because I have my Dundee.
Nice.
I have my Dundee, and then I got Michael Scott when he was doing the golden ticket.
Yeah.
But no, so I have a 2-pack of the Scranton boys, but that's like under like 3 layers of other pops, but
I don't need the shovel. And the great thing about Scranton is that I'm trying to think of the name of, I just lost it. Of course I did. The very famous seafood restaurant that they're always going to, and it has all the stuff all over the walls. That's actually that's the official like merchandise. They have a whole office related store in there, and I went in there and grabbed a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's super cool.
I got some really good pictures of that too. That whole trip.
You'll have to send those to me after. I'd definitely like to check those out.
Yeah, it was a really fun trip. I did like a makeshift trip because of the fact that I couldn't go to the baseball like I wanted because of a tropical storm. Okay, it wasn't a hurricane. There's somebody like, oh, that wasn't, it was a tropical storm.
Shut that shit
Whatever.
down. Yeah.
It was enough not to have fucking baseball. Okay, that's all I cared about.
But
so
silver lining, you got to hang out in Scranton, so that's super dope.
Yeah, it was super dope. And then I did another thing. There is a mountain in Vermont where if it's like a private roadway. And if you go up it when you're at the top, if you are looking in any direction, you get to see mountain ranges in 4 different states.
Really?
So if you're looking south, you can see a mountain range from Mass. If you're looking west, you can see a range from New Hampshire. If you're looking east, you can see a mountain range in New York. And if you look north, you can see a different mountain range that's in Vermont. And it's right next to Manchester, Vermont. It's this you got to pay like a toll, like $20 to get up there and come back down.
Okay.
Make sure you have good brakes because it's a little steep.
Yeah.
It's a little steep. I had to make sure I took time is what I'm saying. Like,
right.
A road that length, normally it would take 8 minutes, but I think I took an hour just making sure I didn't grind my brakes to nothing coming down this mountain is what I'm saying. Because it was
very smart. Very smart.
The views at the top, woo, beautiful.
Oh, 1,000%. Just when you're able to like do that and then finally stop, look around and take everything in, nothing's better.
Right. Yeah, and just try to get the whole, man, I say it all the time, right? We don't get a lot of time on this earth. So every once in a while you got to stop and just really
smell the roses.
Yeah, you got to smell the roses, or you could pull the proverbial Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? And just say stop and look around a while, or you miss it. But you just got to really got to enjoy things once in a while because
you have to. As much as all of us are go and we have to do and be everywhere, it's good to just stop, because legitimately, and this is like new Vern, like, because years ago I wasn't like this. I was just like all like everything in and just like not appreciating shit. And it's like, yo, dead ass, like tomorrow is not promised at all. Absolutely. To anyone. So if you can take 5 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute, just stop and just appreciate what you have, look around you, be grateful, and then just be happy, because it's not worth being pissed off, mad, sad, or whatever, So, but that's that.
Yeah. No, and wisdom comes with years. Being 40 myself, I know there's definitely some things that if I were to go back in time, I'd smack my 20-year-old self and be like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing, bro?
Legitimately, it's the older you get, the wiser you get. And I'm someone who's always fighting time and fighting my age. Cause I've been wrestling. This October is going to be 14 years, so I've seen it all. I've seen a lot of people come. I've seen a lot of people go, and I've seen a lot of people that are still sticking around, just stop and enjoy where you're at right now. So
absolutely.
Legitimately with my shoulder injury, that's what has definitely helped me, just like, because it dead stopped me. Like, bro, I couldn't do shit for like the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then at that point, I'm like, all right, maybe we should just like chill, But now I'm back to my go because I'm trying to rehab it, but properly. But like every so often, just stop and appreciate what you have, because we've all earned what we have right now,
Yeah, you're right. And the shoulder thing, poof. Jose Cole, Brad Cashews had to have 2 surgeries on each surgery on each shoulder. I should say. I know it's definitely a thing. And you literally had just with Gunnar Moody had won the LPW Tag Team Championship. So it is absolutely insane. But it does sound like you we're able to gain some perspective taking a break. So I guess that's, not exactly a wash, but it is kind of crazy, man. It is kind of crazy. And now Gunnar Moody's still the tag champions, but the baton was passed on. So hopefully they keep rolling with it.
I hope so also. Nothing against Gunnar Moody. He was kind of my last pick because I was going in. I was like, you know what? And I filmed it and everything, and we filmed how Gunnar Moody persuaded me, swindled me, however you want to say, to be my tag partner. But it was me looking for a tag partner to wrestle the natural Chase Stevens and the alternative Anthony Green. And I've been wrestling Anthony Green pretty consistently since 2015. So I know AG very, very well. And he brings out the best in me, and I feel I bring out the best in him. But I needed someone who could have my back, who can keep up with Chase Stevens, who can keep up with AG, and I got stuck with Gunnar Moody. But AG got hurt, so Dijak was the replacement, and I've known Dijak since 2012. Him and I were both at New England Pro Wrestling Academy together. He's still there teaching, which is fantastic. He's world traveled. But, Gunnar Moody and I were on the same page that night because Chase Stevens and Dijak were not. And we walked away with the W. We walked away with the gold. And we were going to do some dope shit. But my shoulder just decided it didn't want to be a part of my body. So shit happens,
Yeah. No, nobody likes that. And just for people to know, I can do a shameless promotion for a moment. You queued me up. New England Pro Wrestling Academy in North Andover. Every Wednesday night, you can be flooded with former WWE superstars, Donovan Dijak and Anthony Green, as they are the head coaches for the Wednesday program.
Absolutely. So, two of the best.
If you watch Dijak's been on the podcast and he said it himself, so I'm not like spilling secrets here, guys.
Yeah, no. Absolutely.
They're there, and absolutely, I could say if there's one man that's terrified me to get in the ring with, it's Donovan Dijak. I can tell you that much. He is a big guy. Kudos to you for being able to defeat him.
He's a very big guy. I know I was his first match for his chaotic debut at the PAV in Lowell way back in the day. But it was an honor, and I was just lucky that back in 2024 I had a triple threat match at Lucky Pro Wrestling for the LPW Heavyweight Championship. Coach Webb was a champ at the time, and Dijak and myself, and it meant so much to me because the three of us were at the school together in 2012, and we were just like cutting our teeth at the time. That all these years together, we can get in there and, steal the show, have match of the night, probably match of the year. And just to be able to share the ring with both of them, it meant the most to me. And having Scotty Slade interfere and then Kellen Thomas interfere later on, it was fun. And I'm very proud, and I put my stamp on that match because it was just so dope. Everything that we did.
Yeah. I mean, you queued me up again one more time, and it's a subject that I got into with it, that I wanted to get in with you, that I got into Mike Grosso, and Mike Grosso was on the podcast and you said it yourself, which is perfect. It was a perfect cue for me. There are not too many people that have had the longevity that you've had, that Dijak had, that Mike has had, right? You guys have seen really, almost, you could say a revolution of some sorts, actually, like from a production standpoint, right?
Yep.
When you started out, there was no, let's put everything on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, right? There was no, now I can literally go, and before I would have had to have very expensive camera equipment, and it probably would have been much more of a pain in the ass. Now I would just show up with my iPhone Pro and record the entire fucking show and put it on my own Instagram and all that stuff. But for me, I'm curious from your perspective, having seen so many people come and go, and you've seen some great names. I wanted to get into Daphne eventually for sure, but because she was a phenomenal talent. And from your perspective, what has been I would say maybe the most challenging overall, changes and challenges for you with your careers being so long as it's been, right? What have been the biggest challenges?
My age. 14 years, bro. Like, so my age, obviously, I look at it like this: post COVID, post 2020, I have not been able to stick my feet in the ground and gain the momentum that I had, let's say, starting 2016 to 2019. I don't know what happened. I know 2021, I fucked my neck up really, really bad. But I had it in my mentally, I was like, I need to get back because I just took a year off from COVID. I'm not going to let anyone pass me. And that was the dumbest shit that I could have ever done because I hurt my neck. I had some like crazy like compression and I still have it. It's nothing bad. I can like live with it. I have already like arthritis in my neck and shit, which sucks. But I mean, c'est la vie, it's the name of the game,
Right.
But what had happened was I was wrestling Channing Thomas and I took a fall off a ladder and I gave myself just like crazy ass whiplash and it like pretty much shut down my left side to the point where like I had pinched nerves and compression and stuff that I didn't take care of it in time. That when I say my left side shut down, my shit shut down. So like my whole left arm atrophied, my left lat atrophied, my pec atrophied, and I still kind of deal with that today, but it's controllable because I just need to stretch and I can have all my strength back and shit. But I rushed back 2-3 months because I was just in a hurry. And then I wasn't fully, or my strength, or I wouldn't say my strength, but like I didn't train properly enough. And then that's when I started having issues with my left shoulder or my right shoulder, my mistake. And then that January, it just came out in a match against Ilya Markopoulos. And I was like, fuck. Thinking I was Superman, took February off. Let's get back into it. March, me and Channing Thomas, we wrestled Main State Posse. Absolutely dope. And then the following week, I wrestled Channing Thomas for the LPW Heavyweight Championship. Brad Cashew and Chase were at that show, and they both let me know. And it's something I actually talked to Cashew about it at APW last week, that it stuck with me because like shit like that is important to me. They both came up to me. They're like, we know your shit slipped out like a month or so ago. If it does again, we can help you and pop it back in. And I'm just like, bro, like that means more to me than anything. You know what I mean? It's the brotherhood, the camaraderie. But and then April, my shit came out again. I went into a massive depression and I walked away from wrestling for like a year and a half just because I couldn't be around it at all. But I think to answer your question, just my body not giving up on me, but me not taking care of myself the way that I should. I should have had surgery on my shoulder years ago because I wouldn't be in the scenario or situation that I'm in right now. But now, whatever it is, I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my soul. When I come back, I am getting that momentum that I had, and I'm just gonna run through everybody because I have shit that I have to prove, that I'm still that fucking guy. You know what I mean? And I'm going to leave my mark on New England because that's the only thing that I want to do and know how to do. But that's it. I just, it gets me fired up because that's how much I love it. And that's how much I want to school it. And that's how much I want to help the younger kids. And if they all pick my brain, and it's, to me, I'm not used to hearing or having people ask me shit. So for me to like be able to voice my opinions, what I did like, what I didn't like, and just be helpful, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, you're the vet in the room, right? There's so many rooms you walk into, and like you said, Cash and Wheat, they literally just hit their 1 year mark.
Right.
I go to rooms all the time with guys like Black Jack, who's only been doing this for a year and a half, or the Handyman, or there's so many people who are under 3 years, really, even 2 years, that they haven't really hit their 2 year milestone. Jack won't hit his until December, right?
And they're all schooling it. That's the crazy shit. They're all schooling it, you know?
Jack got a WWE tryout after his first year.
That's wild.
His first year.
Wild, but well earned. Yeah, well earned.
Well earned. And I can totally, being someone who literally just started wrestling training like 6 months ago, I can tell you, there are days where, I'm 40, I'm getting there doing stuff. I'm not as fast as those 20-year-olds, the 19-year-olds. There's kids in there that are fucking 17. They're like, what are you taking along for? I'm like, first of all, it's the first time I'm doing it. So my body, my mind are more trained to never try this, because I've been telling myself for the last 10 years, don't put yourself in situations. It is a subconscious thing, people. It is not a conscientious decision. It's a you've been trying not to get yourself hurt on purpose, and now you're throwing yourself on the floor many, many times in a day. So your brain's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Fight or flight reflex, your medulla oblongata is just going off the fucking charts. But then it is just difficult in general to try to keep up with these kids. Maybe I have to have a Celsius or two before class so that I can have that extra energy to get going, because they're just naturally there. And it's like, all right, well, let me go back in time and get 20-year-old Chris, and let's see how different it was.
Yes.
Because guess what? That son of a bitch was in the Army. That son of a bitch was in very good shape. So he probably would do this a little better. So if you want to go one-on-one, we'll get that guy. But, it can be kind of mind-boggling at times, for sure. But I respect the fact that you brought that up, because it cues me to a question that I got when I started telling people that I was going to go into training. They said, well, what happens, or what do you think you'd ever get hurt or whatever? And I said, this is professional wrestling. The truth is, everyone gets hurt. Doesn't matter what level you're on. There are fucking, look at Jim Cornette. He got thrown off a scaffold, for Christ's sake. And this guy just wasn't training to do bumps, and he wasn't doing whatever. But he broke bones and all kinds of stuff. So I'm not trying to be a professional wrestler. I want to be I want to do ring announcing. I want to do some other stuff. But am I going to get hurt? Probably. I've already, people think that I'm completely fucking insane for, knowingly going into this, knowing that I will get hurt at some point. And I'm like, that's just part of the gig. Like, that's just part of the gig. Like, it sucks. I don't want it to happen, but it's like riding a motorcycle. More than likely, you're going to fall down. There's got to be one time. Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's really bad. Maybe it's not so bad. I don't fucking know. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. But I can say that I genuinely respect, the honesty there, and the fact that you were able to go into all that stuff, because I know sometimes it's not as easy to talk about that shit. And you telling me that story, I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a Brad and Chase thing to say, like 100%. Especially knowing that Brad's been through it twice with all his shoulder problems and stuff. So, the camaraderie is unlike anything else I've ever seen. I don't know if I've told this story on air or not, but when I went to Brian Bayside, right, I told him, hey man, just so you know, next week I'm starting NetBlot. I'm kind of nervous. I'm, never done this before. I want to do it. I'm kind of nervous. And the only thing he said, not the only thing he said, but the first thing he said was, you're going to smash it, bro. You need anything, you give me a call. I got your back.
Dope.
I I have never felt the kind of support or love anywhere else in my life like I have here in the professional wrestling industry.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And it's probably why I'm divorced, right? Boom. But it's absolutely incredible. And and I'm just like this fucking guy. So it's so wonderful. I'm sure at your level, you've gotten 1,000 more stories, and that's why you're here. So I could hear them, to be fair.
Nope.
But it's just incredible to hear the support and love every single time. I just have to pause for the cause, as I
Yeah,
like to
no,
say.
1,000%. I mean, I've known Chase since 2012. I've known Brad since he started up, and seeing Brad at APW last weekend, I haven't seen him in years. So, but for him and I to just pick right back up, he asked how his shoulder was, and then he just gave me almost it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? And he was telling me about one of his was in college, the other I believe was in wrestling, and he was like, since then shit's been fine. I'm just like, things that I do want to hear. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, but even still, with me doing PT and stuff every day, and just me rehabbing, the way I see my shoulder and how it moves, and how I'm able to do stuff, it's night and day how it was before. And I'm just like, oh shit, I needed to have this done long ass time ago. Cause, I was just saying, I say to myself, every time I was getting into the ring, it was a gamble. And just that last time when it was me and Nick Marchand, I lost. You know what I mean? And it wasn't his fault, because I had him hooked for a Russian leg sweep, and I had my right arm over his shoulders and around his neck, and then just when we went backwards, my arm slipped down, and it was just straight out and just took all of his body weight, and there's no other way for your shoulder to go. You know what I mean? When I told my doctor who performed the surgery, he was like, your shoulder and arm were in the most compromised position it could be. There was no other result that was going to happen. And I'm just like, fuck, right. Okay. But I mean, just get up, learn. I got surgery, and now I know I'm going to come back 10 times better. So just, it was relieving to hear that from Brad, and then even so, I saw Mortar, and it was kind of humorous that I saw Mortar. We both, when Mortar came, all day. When Mortar came up to me, we just both gave each other a big hug, because I've known Mortar since 2017. And it was funny, in sync, we were both like, how you doing? How you healing up? And him and I just had a nice laugh over that, because we're both just on the sidelines right now, but Mortar's a great dude. Brad's a great dude. Chase is phenomenal. Nothing, I can't say any ill words, because they're all great people. So
absolutely, man. Absolutely. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. And you did cue it up. You're talking about the APW. I could say, I've never actually talked to Gerard. Never talked to Mike Gerard at all.
Right.
But there have been times that I've gone to APW that he's absolutely shocked me. And this past one was this past weekend.
Right.
And both times, I don't think I could have more respect for a person that I've never talked to, I guess I could say, just because the psychological thought process for me, thinking the fact that this man did these things, it goes to show what kind of man he is, right?
Right.
So for context, I'll just say the first one. I was very shocked months ago when Mike Gerard got choked out and passed out. Yes, in Derry. I was there for that whole thing. absolutely unbelievable because most people do the Vince Russo and they give themselves the WCW title. So
Right.
the fact that Mike Gerard not only had a show, his show, all right, his show, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
where he gets attacked, but the last thing we saw before he left was his unconscious body in the ring. Holy shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
The respect that day grew, I feel like the fucking Grinch. The respect I had for that man that day grew 3 sizes. I was like, that is balls. That is absolute balls to be a promoter, put yourself in the ring, and the last thing people leave, but when they literally go out the door, is people working on you medically in your own ring.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I mean,
all right,
that's a moment that you remember, and that's exactly. That's what wrestling is. It's all moments. I remember that because it was Mike, who was not a wrestler at all, going against Owen Brody, who is a wrestler, and got the shit kicked out of him. And then the Icon Legend came in through the crowd and assisted in just kicking the shit out of Mike. And it was just that awkward feeling ending of like, the show's over, but it's just an uneasy feeling. And then Mike disappeared for up until January, you know? So
he's normally the guy at the front door taking tickets and shit. So my brain, it was, oh my God. The whole ride home was just like, how did this? And, JJ's much younger. She hasn't watched this, but I've been literally watching wrestling since I was born. Like literally wrestling since I was born. So I have lived through the Vince McMahon giving himself the WF title. I've lived through the Vince Russo giving himself the WCW title, the David Arquette's, the other smaller promotions that have popped up and existed for a year and then burnt through their cash and disappeared. And they had the nepotism titles, right?
Yeah.
So the idea that this guy was like, nah, let's do this other thing. Fucking genius.
Great.
If I could do standing ovation, I would, but you would just be seeing my chest and that'd be very awkward, guys.
Hey,
sitting ovation.
It's fine.
Sitting ovation. Genius.
Yes.
So the second one was Mike's honesty, because there's and I mean no disrespect by this, but I've been genuinely wondering, and maybe you can tell me, where are your videos from your shows? Do you have does APW have a Patreon or something? Like, I know you've been doing commentary, but did they go on YouTube? Where do they go?
So
I've had this, people ask me.
That's absolutely fine. I know right now, they had been filming, or they started filming in March or April, and we had someone who was working on the videos, but then they had other things come up. So those videos they're out in the ether somewhere. They just need to be put together. I know, or I believe the most current one from last Saturday should be out. So it is in the process of being worked on, and it will be out, I believe, on YouTube, because Mike had mentioned to me that he was wanting to start uploading shows to YouTube and stuff. And I know he uploaded one of the Breadwinners tag matches from last month. He uploaded Nico and Ilya versus the Bounce Boys from last month. So they're getting sprinkled out slowly but surely. Like, he's starting to get the ball rolling on putting out the matches and stuff, because they're all phenomenal. And I mean, if someone can see it on Facebook and that draws them to come to Newburyport, then we're doing our job. Wrestling is all about word of mouth right now. You want someone to leave a show and tell 5 people, and at least 3 of those people will come, and if they have fun, they'll tell 5 people, and then that's how wrestling grows. Do you know? But that's where it is. That the fingers are crossed right now, but the videos are being worked on and they will be out. I just don't know when. So
okay,
but
I mean, that's fair. but knowing the nature of my channel, I get many inquisitive minds asking
Totally.
questions. And
Absolutely.
my answer is always, I have no fucking clue. I don't work there.
Right. No,
I work there, man.
I mean that's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair. But so they're being worked on. I personally have no date. No, that's the extent that I know. But they're being worked on because I mean, I want to hear myself calling commentary with my bestie, Big Moves Bill. You know, so, but with Mike's honesty, I had no idea that he was going to say what he said, and I just had to tip my hat to him because to take responsibility is tough, and especially to take responsibility in front of a room of over 100 people, very tough. And you know, he wore his shirt on his sleeve that night, and I respect him for doing that. You know,
absolutely. And I guess just for context for the people in the audience here, Mike just literally was saying that he feels that APW needs to change to be more successful, and that he took responsibility for needing that change to exist. And as a man, as a father, as a human being, it resonated with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it felt like so genuine, authentic that he was just like, hey, you know what? I can be doing better, and I will now be more conscientious of that and working for it in the future. And that's really all anyone could ever ask. I mean, first of all, technically, who the fuck would be anybody to tell him anything anyways? Because it's his, he writes the checks. But to be fair, if he's telling himself he wants to push himself and do more, awesome. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's get it done. So, and he's got guys like you that have his back that, can help him be successful. And you've been in the business for a long time, and you can help guide and that whole thought process. And it was genuinely like refreshing for me, because not to say that other people do or don't do that, but once again, most people are so busy trying to just make themselves look cool on TV or at a show that they don't stop and be authentic and be themselves. And the fact that I've seen him do it on multiple occasions, it just, as a person, as a fan, as a whatever, all the different labels you can use and throw them away, as a human being, seeing a person be that genuine and honest and open in a room full of fans, I just had to respect it. Once again, I was really blown away. I was like, holy shit, this guy is something else. This guy is fucking, the fact that you go out there and you say that, respect, kudos to you. And I hope whatever it is that he has plans on, I hope they all come to fruition, and I hope the next time someone says, hey man, where can I find this match? I could be like, YouTube here or whatever. Because that's what I do. I'm sure promotions, they maybe know it, maybe they don't know it. But like the stuff that I do really just makes them look better half the time. And I get people who reach out to me all the time, YouTube, whatever, name the platform. And they're like, where can I get this whole match? And I'll be like, oh, like NCW. You've been the NCW champion. NCW, they have a Patreon. It's $6 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll say, hey, I can't show you the whole match. That's not what I do.
Right.
But if you'd like to see the fully produced match, please go to NCW. Yeah. All right. And you go to this Patreon thing. Or Corey Von Quest. He's a buddy of mine, a buddy of the channel. JJ and I love him. He does all the video production for places like New Order Wrestling, and we've seen him at many different places. So when he's actually he did the Handyman show for the 4th of July. So when people reach out, they say, yeah, no problem. Check out either New Order Wrestling or Corey Von Quest's YouTube, and you're all set, right? Yeah. I love telling people this stuff because you know what that means? Someone saw what I was doing. Someone saw the video I made, liked it, and now you have one more APW fan.
Yeah, and they want to look further into it. You know what I mean? And at that point, that could hook someone. And that's exactly what we need. It's word of mouth. We need to hook people because there's nothing better than wrestling at a place. I mean, an Elks Lodge, a VFW, whatever, but when it's standing room only. That shit's wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
I love it.
You know
The
what I
energy,
mean? And that's what I love. That's what I love. You know, I don't treat anything different if it was, you know, like 30 to 50 people and the attendance was a little bit lower, because I'm still going to bust my ass, because there are people who are paying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you can get a venue and it's standing room only, and unfortunately you have to turn people away at the door, yo, sign me up, put me out first. You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff that fires me up.
Absolutely. And, you know, and I can, and I maybe I'm sounding way too much like I'm tooting my own fucking horn, but technically it's my show, so it's my job anyways.
Toot, motherfucker.
Yeah. Toot. But Rebel Spirit, right? I went to Rebel Spirit maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and I just had some random guy walk up to me, and he was like, "Hey man, aren't you the Rev dude?" And I was like, "Yes, I am. That is me.
That's right, I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit." And he was like, "Dude, I love your fucking stuff. Like I follow it all the time." And like we just had like a whole conversation where like now he pays attention to more indie wrestling because of the fact that he saw what I was doing.
That's awesome.
I was like, first of all, I was just taken aback because my brain was just fucking, I couldn't process it. I'll be honest. There's a couple times where I just got like silently awkward where I'm just like, yeah, I'm that guy. You're like cool.
The Rev dude.
Yeah, that is me. Yes. Cool. And then we had a conversation, and it was nice. It was great. It's like, oh, okay, this guy's paying attention more to these things because there's more out there. So it just makes me want to get more out there because, you know,
why not?
Why not? Same thing with, you know, I don't know if JJ is going to kick my ass for saying this later, but JJ is, you know, she does the wrestling photography. If anybody's been seeing her feed lately, it's been blowing up because she has 20,000 photos that need to be posted onto the internet, that she's taken, from various places like APW, LPW, name it. We've been there.
Yeah.
And I actually made my own app because I don't know if most people know this, but posting on the internet sucks. It takes way too much time.
It does.
So I wrote my own app to literally just batch select a giant folder worth of stuff and just make it into tens and just drop it off. And there it goes. So every 2 hours JJ's is dropping. Well, she has her own stuff. And she is in charge of the Instagram breadwinners lover. So she has multiple Instagrams posting stuff for that all the time. And somebody yesterday walked up to her and were like, "Hey, aren't you the kid who runs the breadwinners lover Instagram? I love your photos." So JJ got her first fan. Like,
that's awesome.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
And you know what? It's not like I mean, as a father, holy shit, that moment was amazing for me.
Absolutely.
But, you know, all the pride in the world. But the amazing thing is we got to connect with these people, not just about the thing that we love the most, which is professional wrestling. All right, let's be honest. But some of the people that we love and adore the most. We got to talk about the breadwinners for a time with the person, you know, and how much we love these guys. And I've been able to talk to, you know, so many people like, well, who the hell is this guy? And what does he do? And whatever. I've had all kinds of weird random questions asked to me in live or whatever. And it's always good to be like, yeah, okay, I can fucking shoot the shit. Check this out. Check this person out. You like this? You should be looking at this. And it's bringing people into the fold, and hopefully one of the days some of those people who are watching, you know, well, I shouldn't say that. I almost said the thing that I just said, but those people who are watching and they appreciate it and they bring it back. It's just wonderful to see that it's working, right? I guess I should say. But you know, APW has been one of those places where I'm just like, man, there's so much. APW has so much going on.
Yep.
And so much great talent. I just really I've been dying for it to see more from it. Yeah. And I'm so happy that Mike Gerard is going to do that. That's what I'm going to say. I'm very excited to see what comes next. And for my audience, keep an eye on APW because this man's very passionate, and I know that I don't know what it is, but we'll see, right?
No, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure when Mike actually sees this when you post it, he'll appreciate it also. I am just excited that when I get back into the swing of things, I get to mingle with all these new people in the ring. And that's what I'm excited about. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm seeing how good everyone is, and it's causing FOMO on my end that I'm just like, let me like put on my trunks and all this other shit because I wanna dance with all these people, you know? So but no,
absolutely.
The trajectory, I hope that whatever Mike has planned and the trajectory that he's taking APW, where he's going to start, better angles, having better payoffs, and just all this other stuff. I hope it's all beneficial because I've been a part of that company, or I've been consistently booked with APW since I believe 2014 when they used to run at the Newburyport Firehouse. And that was wild because it was like its own little thing, but they had 200 plus people every month. And it was insane. So if we can get back to that here, everyone's making money and everyone's happy. Right. Fans are happy. The wrestlers are happy. And ultimately Mike's happy, you know?
Right. Yeah, and more power to you guys. I really hope it happens. And, of course, you were just very recently, APW World Champion, right? And
yeah, 2 times.
And I can say that I was genuinely shocked to see the main shooter lose the title that night. My brain just, I don't think I've ever seen the guy lose. I mean, you gotta close it out sometime, but holy shit.
I was also. Monty is the man. Legitimately, the main shooter. He is, and I've told him this. He's just so talented. And I think he knows it, but he doesn't realize how talented he actually is from an outsider looking, or an insider looking in, but like someone from my perspective seeing him. Because he's only been around, I think, for 4 years. And he's progressed. He's a Focus Pro champion. He won the APW Heavyweight Championship in January in a triple threat match against me and myself and DJ Powers. And even in that match, I was just blown away at how fantastic like just Monty and DJ were, and just the magic that we could, have in that match. And Monty won. I was handcuffed to the ring post, so I couldn't do anything, but Monty won, there was only so much that I could do. But no, Monty was a amazing champion, and he has a bright future, and I want him to know that. I'm sure I will see him next weekend at Focus Pro, but if this comes out before that, I want him to know that.
I'll make sure to clip it. We'll be good.
You're the best.
Pro, I love Brian, DC, Evan. I love you guys.
Yeah.
These guys. I love these guys.
Great group.
Great group. Kyle, Alan needs always, GK gets to go there. Brendan Paul, it's such a great group of dudes. Mm-hmm. And of course on the stick, you got the GOAT himself, Mr. Rich Palladino. You can't get better.
No.
Can't get better.
No, love Rich Palladino. Is the commentary team, is that Bo and Zach? Do you know? Again, 2 other great people. Bo, former tag partner of mine. We were UFO tag champions way back in the day. So Bo knows, I know, and everyone knows.
Yeah, Monty's, and he's got a big match, right? He's going to be facing Papi Guapo Diego Alvarez to defend his Focus Pro title.
They're finally settling this feud that's been going on for God knows how long.
Yeah, it's. I feel like there's been so many times where it's like, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, will they? It's finally,
It's
all
there.
right.
It's
on.
happening.
It's on.
Ladder
It's finally
match,
on.
right? A ladder match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going down, and I'm excited to see it.
Listen, I have felt like a kid at Christmas with this Focus Pro show because you got that match that's finally occurring. The big one for me that I'm very excited for because I am such a huge fan and everybody knows this. Mike and Katie, I love you guys so much. And the fact that Mike is going to be going up against the most marketable Richard Holiday, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of fucking thing they're gonna pull out, but I'm here for it. I know
He just needs to watch out for the signature move. That's it. Just needs to watch out for the signature move.
Just watch out. Yep. Maybe Katie can help with a distraction of some sort.
I think Katie can definitely assist. I don't think Mike needs the help, but Katie can definitely assist.
Right. She's very good at this. She is a pro. She's literally a pro.
Yes.
You got the women's match. Stephanie Lander, the reigning Focus Pro Women's Champion, which is pretty crazy. That's Lungo's Kenna, but Stephanie Lander defending her title against Gypsy Mac in Izzy Moreno. That's going to be a hell of a triple threat, I'm sure.
Crazy triple threat match,
JJ herself is going to be very excited for that since she's such a big Izzy fan. There was a match actually about, Jesus Christ, probably 4 months ago, but it feels like 5 years ago at the same time.
Okay.
Where it was Izzy versus Papi Guapo, actually.
Okay.
So, and I sponsored Diego.
Yeah.
She sponsored Izzy, and there was a bet. So if Izzy lost, JJ would have to drink a kale smoothie.
Okay.
If Papi Guapo lost, I had to drink Pepsi because I think Pepsi's disgusting. So,
ooh, ouch.
Absolutely disgusting. So, unfortunately, Diego lost and I had to drink a Pepsi. Thanks to Carly, she actually got an eye in the sky. I didn't realize being recorded, but we're in a public place, so I assume it's got to happening. She got actually a very good video of my genuine reaction of Papi Guapo losing, and it's on the channel.
Yeah.
But the wild thing is that there were random people who had come up to me at different points saying, "Hey man, you have to drink that Pepsi now." And I had nothing to say back to him because all I could really think is, "Holy shit, you watch my channel?"
Yeah. And then it followed up with, "Damn, I got to drink a Pepsi."
Yeah, I got to drink a Pepsi. Which, Rich Palladino made sure to introduce us with the wrestlers when they came to the ringside. And the Zote, Zach, was the official from Focus Pro who made sure that I drank the beverage. So, and the only thing I was trying to chug it, and I really don't drink soda very often, so it kind of burned. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't drink soda very often, so all that carbonation, it was just like a gross burn. I was just like, fudge.
So was it a diet Pepsi or just a straight up Pepsi?
Just a straight up Pepsi. Just a regular Pepsi.
So all that sugar and shit too? No.
Yeah. And there was actually an additional flavoring that was added of grape. So it tasted like a Pepsi / some kind of medicine. Because, when I was a kid, they put fucking grape in everything. They were like,
I hated it.
Yeah. So JJ wanted to add insult to injury and there was extra grape flavored on top of it. So
no.
Not a pretty picture, but that's what happens. I'm a man. I took a bet. I lost a bet.
You're a man of your word, and that's all that matters.
Exactly.
So from me asking you, you said you're not a soda drinker. Does that mean like just no soda in general, or like you prefer Coca-Cola over Pepsi?
So if you would have asked me, well, I'd Coke all day. Let me just say that. I used to be a huge Coca-Cola fan back in the day, but now I don't drink soda at all. Like I don't drink any soda. Fair. I'm kind of out of the thing, but 20 years ago, I actually went to, when I was in So I was in the Army.
Right.
I was stationed. My first spot was Fort Knox, Kentucky. And there was a Coca-Cola museum just outside of Fort Knox, closer to Louisville. And so it was exciting for me to go, but now I could care less, to be honest.
That's
be
cool.
honest. I could care less.
That's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair. So I, growing up, was always a Coca-Cola fan.
Yeah.
And it's wild that you just mentioned Kentucky. So back in 99, I went to live with my dad in Florence, Kentucky. So going over there, I was like asking him, like, where the fuck are all the like Coca-Cola? And he was like, Vern, you're in Kentucky. He was like, we have the museum, but like, this is Pepsi town, or this is Pepsi country. And I'm like, you kidding me? My dad, his entire life was a Mountain Dew guy. So that I started with that, but then made the switch to Pepsi. So now, since then, I've been a Pepsi guy, but I don't drink regular soda, and I don't drink soda often. When I do, it's either Pepsi Zero or a Diet Pepsi, and that's like maybe once or twice a month. But just so I can keep my Pepsi fix, I will do a shameless plug. I don't have it in hand, but Celsius has a cola flavor, and they have a cherry cola flavor. So if you're looking for a soda fix, whatnot, go peep those, you know?
Right. No, if I do drink soda, it's like one of those like Stevias or like Fizz Pops. Healthier sodas, healthier sodas. It's always hilarious because somebody put it like this. It's like back in 1970.
Yeah.
Potato chips were, obviously potatoes, salt, and oil, right? And that was a junk food. Nowadays, it's like potatoes and like 7,000 chemicals. And then for some reason, we have potato chips that cost extra that are just potatoes, salt, and oil, and they consider it a health food, even though 50 years ago that was just junk. So
Times have changed. They add more shit to it, and it's cheaper. But if you just want like the brass tacks of just like the main stuff, you're paying more for it.
Absolutely. I mean, and honestly, I am the Rev dude, so it makes sense. Dude. So, Big Lebowski, all right? If I'm going to drink a soda and pay money for it, it's probably going to be a sarsaparilla.
There you go.
Sarsaparilla.
Yo, you like what you like. You like what you like.
Yeah. And it just, that was the dude's preference in the movie, at least, or the man.
I dig it.
For those uninitiated. Yeah, you talked about a championship reign. You've been NCW champion, you've been LPW champion, you've been APW champion. You had gold.
Just keep them coming. You can keep them coming. It's fine.
Tag champions, world champions. They say that you got a big comeback coming, right? You got injured. You had a title in your fucking hands when you had to relinquish it, for Jesus Christ's sake. So my brain automatically thinks maybe when this guy comes back, he's going to be going for all the gold.
That's it.
All of it.
That's it. When I say I'm coming for everything, I'm fucking coming for everything. That's it. And I've said this to myself, and for you to say this and, acknowledge it, I've been saying this for months. The day I went into surgery, when I came out of surgery, I've said this to the Church of Filth in passing in the back, I'm coming for it all. So I hope everyone is enjoying this time right now with their gold, because it's borrowed time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm that confident, and it's happening. To backtrack to what you had said, NCW champ, LPW champ, this champ, that champ. And what I said earlier, like 29, I consider 2019 one of my best years because November of 2019, I was the Liberty States Heavyweight Champion. I was the LPW Heavyweight Champion. I just won the NCW Heavyweight Champion, and I was the APW New England Champion. I had 4 belts, and then I had at some point like the UFO Tag Championship with Bo. I believe I was the last person to have I think the VCW Live Wire Championship. I've just been very fortunate and lucky. I wouldn't even say lucky because I don't believe in luck. I've earned everything that I have. And sometimes I don't realize it and I beat myself up. But to look back at the past 13 years is just fucking wild. And everything that I've done, every place that I've been, every person that I've met, every person I've interacted with, every person that I've somehow inspired, I would have never thought I was capable of it, and I don't take it for granted at all. But once the doctor gives me the thumbs up, we're off to the races, and off to the races, and I am leaving with everything. So because I'm giving everything. Right.
So we're gonna have to put new APW champ on the new LPW champ, for crying out loud. Scotty Slade just got that title.
Yep.
Yes, and Johnny Pierce, NCW. There you go.
Yep.
You're that challenge has been the gauntlet is thrown down.
It's all being put out there.
It's all being
put out there. You manifest
3-time APW.
You three time. You put that out and you put that out into the universe and you manifest it. It's coming to you. That's it. That's my views on things.
So, with the idea that we are in New England, there are so many. And this is a bingo card for anybody who has their Rev Dude bingo for the podcast. This is square one. Check it off. There are so many fucking promotions here.
Yeah,
it is actually almost obscene how many wrestling promotions are in New England. Right? It's wild. I can almost hear JJ in the other room murmuring about how dumb I am for saying this for the 50 millionth time. But it's true.
Yeah,
I can say it 50 million times because it never stops being true, guys. It's literally just tonight, almost every Saturday. Let's be honest, every Saturday, almost every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can choose between one of 5 shows happening in New England, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Vern Vicallo popping up somewhere, Connecticut, maybe. What are we talking here?
So the last time I was in Connecticut, I feel Connecticut is kind of scarce with promotions. The last time I was in Connecticut was the week before I got hurt in March, and that was a triple threat for Outcast Wrestling Revolution. I'm sorry if I said the name incorrectly. It's Cindy Hart's promotion. And it was a triple threat match for the #1 contendership for the heavyweight title. Myself, Dustin Flash Waller, and Anthony Gangone. And guess who won? And guess who was supposed to be the #1 contender? But then for another title. And then the shoulder was not today, Vern. So, but having that, and it's nothing against Nick and the Proving Ground or what have you. But I consider my last real official match, start to finish. The fact that I can put my name on, I was in the ring with Dustin and Anthony, Dr. Sleep, amazing. 2 top guys. And that's the shit also that keeps me believing and knowing I can keep going, that I'm not as known as a lot of other people, but I can fucking keep up with these guys and I can outshine these guys. So, and that might sound braggadocious or cocky, but it's you got to believe in yourself. Because if you believe in yourself, that's it. Because no one else is up to believing in you but you, and you have to. So that's where I am. But yeah, again, at this point, I'm just waiting for the doctor to give me the thumbs up. I don't know when that will be, but it has to be soon because I'm driving myself absolutely insane.
That's it. Hey man, I'm sure there's plenty of promotions around here that wouldn't mind an extra eye on a few fucking things while you're losing your mind. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know.
And
Legitimately. But so we have that for Connecticut. I put it out, I think, right after I separated my shoulder. So I was booked originally the end of February all the way into May, the second week of May, every weekend. I had a Focus Pro debut that I was going to do. I was debuting with WFA. I was doing APW, and I was doing like a handful of other places and like Lucky Pro and shit like that. And I was just like to myself, like, yo, Vern, here comes that momentum you've been looking for. And then it just, the rug got pulled up underneath me. But like, to know I had that set up and to know that these promotions reached out to me after I said I was hurt and they were like, when you give us the word, you're back. And I'm like, that was another pressure and weight off of my shoulders. So when I get back, those debuts that were supposed to happen earlier in the year are still fucking happening. And at that point, those people are on notice also. Cause like I said, I'm coming for it all.
Drager, sorry, Drager, but you're on notice now too.
Everyone's on notice.
A current WFA champion, which was very shocking, but hard fought win over superfan John Austin. Also, shout out to him. I love a superfan.
Yeah.
Guy. But it took not one, not two, but three of Drager's devastatingly powerful maneuvers, finishing maneuvers to get the job done. And he got the betterment that day, and wild. Also, the fact that, just to pause for a second, can I just say that it's absolutely insane that the WFA was selling their own fucking energy drink that night with their faces on it? That was wild.
Like,
that is crazy.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of that promotion. I'm so happy that they're able to do that. Part of me is salted that I couldn't be a part of that and have my face on an energy drink. But, the future is unknown and we'll see what happens when I get back. But dope for them. Super dope.
Super. Yeah. And, Justin Rondo reached out. He's going to be coming on the podcast. So
sick.
Easy plug for that one.
Yeah.
Super cool dude. Super chill. We meet him and chat up daily. And he's on the list. As you would know, especially in this business, sometimes things change. Things change all the time. So I probably at one point, and I've said this before, I'll just say it again here just to say it one more time. If I say, hey guys, this person's coming on and you don't see them next week, it's probably because something changed and I just got somebody else and we moved on with our lives. That's how that works. And it doesn't mean they're never going to show up. It just means they're going to have to rebook, like Leroy Robinson talking about Focus Pro again. You see him at the Focus Pro all the time. He was supposed to be on, then he got a booking on a Saturday and he went and did it. These guys are like you. I got to thank you. You're not getting paid to be here. You're spending your own Saturday to talk to me.
Absolutely.
And to tell the audience your fucking story.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you got a booking and you're like, hey, I can't do it, who the fuck am I to complain?
And honestly,
somebody else paid you.
At that point, I mean, obviously, to be courteous, like, I'm happy we're doing it at this time right now, but there's always next time. Always next time we can figure it out, reschedule, all that other fun stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, and also I think this is the first podcast I've done since I think December of 24. So this is to sit down interview. So like everything that's happened from December of 24 up until now, all brand new, some of the shit untold. I know we're delving into a little bit of my past and like deep past and just like The Office, Scranton, Celsius, all that shit. But like, yeah, anything you ask, I tell. That's how I am. I'm for the most part a pretty open book, So.
Right. And I should probably be smart enough to stop and pause and shout out my boy Jack, because my boy Jack happens to have people in common with you, and he was trying for a long time to get you on the podcast last year.
Oh yeah,
Especially.
yeah.
And he was like, I want to see it. I feel like he almost wanted to be like a co-host or something, but
Okay.
I was like, God about that. But he was very excited to get you, to have me get you on the podcast. So when this,
Excellent.
probably when I'm editing video later, I'm probably going to send him a fucking Snapchat of like, oh, look who I just had on.
Oh shit, we got Deliciously Vicious.
He's gonna be like, make sure you, I'll make sure to send him the link directly,
Right.
so then he can, as soon as it's live, he can just follow it. But it's always, and speaking of Jack, and this is kind of a funny thing, and this was a curveball that I thought about bringing up, but since we kind of sort of organically got there with nonsense anyways, I might as well. With your downtime right now,
Right.
have you thought of modeling?
I've had many people tell me this. I've never took it into consideration due to body dysmorphia. But I'll take headshots like a motherfucker, you know? But I've had people tell me that I should be a model. I've had people tell me I look like a rock star. I've had people tell me I look like a movie star. And just with that, I take it in and I'm just, thank you very much. You know?
Right.
So
I'll add one more onto it. Cause yeah, you kind of got the vibe of like an 80s
something
hair metal band.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But there was another one I thought of the other day.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to bring this up in the conversation. I guess I could just say it anyways. But kind of got to Jack, and I said this to Jack, and I said, let me, I was like, let me just paint a picture really quick. All right.
Mhm.
Could you or could you not see Vern as like one of those models on like one of those ridiculous books women read?
Like Fabio.
You'd be like the fucking pirate from the sexy book that the chick reads. Like, I feel like you could do that.
Yeah, with just my hair with my hair flowing, and I'm just holding a broad. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I think that would work. I genuinely think that would work. I'm like, dude, you got the tan. I don't know, how the fuck do you stay so tan all the time? It's amazing. Good job.
The tanning bed, the tanning salon that's right down the road. I stay consistent with it. Also, because right after I had surgery, they told me no tanning, so I went like a month and a half, and I was going absolutely crazy, and like I was starting to get pale again because like without the tan, I'm pretty pale, and I was just looking at myself. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, but I couldn't because of just like all the stitches and shit that I had. So yeah. But obviously, I'm back in the tanning bed. So
right. You could totally pull it off, man. The whole Fabio thing.
Hell yeah! I'll write that down after, and we'll see if we can make that a reality.
We should. I mean, you know, the wild thing is now we could just fucking. I could literally. I'm not going to say the word out loud because then the robot's going to talk to me. So I'm just going to call it a robot. Everybody knows that there are robots that are in your house that you could speak to. Okay. If I say they'll activate. But my robot the other day was asking questions about random nonsense that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize these damn things can like just generate AI images magically.
Yeah. No, well, I was just going to follow up and just say like, bro, we can just AI something of me on a book. Yeah.
I could literally tell the robot to AI you a picture of you face on a book, and it'd be like, boom, done. Right?
Done. Bestseller, New York Times.
Exactly.
No story. Just based off of the cover.
Yeah. It works.
Yeah.
Just, you got to be on the bow of a fucking pirate ship, and boom, done.
Honestly, it's the beard, the hair, and the eyeliner that gets everybody. So I lucked out.
Yeah. It works. It totally works. You gotta play to your strengths, right? If you got a strength, you gotta fucking work on it. You gotta go to it. You got your talent. There's nothing wrong with getting the money maker. And that fucking, you know what? Honestly, I could say it. I have body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
It is a son of a bitch. And once again,
absolutely.
I've had this conversation with Simon, right? Because
Yeah.
once again, I've been very fortunate to have genuine conversations with Simon Miller and all the guys at What Culture. And I'd be sit down for a few hours and just fucking pick their brain about random nonsense is incredible. And that guy is huge. He is so swole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I call him swole ass Simon. I was like, you're swole ass Simon.
Love it.
And like the fact that him and I had this same conversation about body disorder, because I do, like in my brain, I feel like I'm like 350 pounds. Like I'm like this fat, disgusting slob.
I get it.
Like my brain has to just like, and the two of you are obviously much better at it than I am. The idea of fighting it with actual exercise on a regular basis, for sure. But it's just something that anytime those type of things like they pop up in a conversation, I like to just kind of point them out because it reminds people that they're not alone if you're struggling with something, right? If you have those things, I feel like one of the biggest problems with our society right now is we've over-labeled every fucking thing that we do or say.
Absolutely.
And I'm not trying to get socio-political at this point.
No, it's fine.
Give two shits,
right?
But I just feel like I hear so many people who describe their entire personalities based upon their sexual orientation. And it's like, you're not more than that though? Like, aren't you like a whole human first? And then you have these other categories? Because I'm a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And I'm a father, but I'm more than a wrestling fan and a father.
Right.
I'm more than you know what I mean? People are more than just the one label that they plaster first. And the problem is not just when they only believe in that one label, but when people are judged harshly on that one label, and then somehow we fucking bash each other to death because that one label I like. It's just like, the fuck are we doing? Is he not a person? Someone's son? Is that no one's son or daughter? You know what I mean? Is that just like a human being that deserves compassion? Absolutely. So it's a cause that I very much believe in and I very much put out there, and I very much say to people, listen, guys, I understand that you have your things, but let's not get ridiculous. All right. Let's not get carried away. Let's not go down the fucking rabbit hole and fight each other. But doesn't mean those things can't be fun. So like, for instance, you're a big horror fan, right?
Love it. Yep. Love it.
So what are your go-tos?
Halloween. The Halloween franchise. And I'm insanely particular on my Halloween franchise. So the first one from 78, obviously. I remember I was like single digits, 4, 5, something. And I was at my mom's boyfriend's apartment, and he just had it on the TV. And it was a scene towards the end where Jamie Lee Curtis is in the closet and Michael's trying to break through. And that just stuck with me. And I was like, I'm obsessed, So, but my Halloween, is obviously the first one. I enjoy the second one a lot. Number 3 can get out of here for the rest of my life. I am a part of that, the number 3, I will never watch it ever. I think legitimately I've watched it like twice in my entire life. I will, 4 through 6 are okay. I've found I prefer my Halloween as long as it's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it, because I feel that's a continuation from the original somehow. I know we have like 3 different timelines right now.
Yeah.
I was originally on board with Rob Zombie's, but then in the second movie where he shoehorned his wife in, I was like, I'm good, I'm done. I wasn't Rob Zombie. His Halloween relied on things that didn't need to be relied on. And there was just some scenes that I was just like, this is graphic and unnecessary. But the last 3 that came out from Blumhouse, I am a massive, massive fan, and I will fight anybody, because I know the Kills and Ends, people are vocal on how much they don't like them. And I'm just like, And I love everyone's opinion, but your opinion's wrong. You know what I mean? Back in January, I have on my right calf, I got Michael Myers mask from Ends, just because I love how like decayed and stuff that it looked. And my tattoo guy, Shane Murphy from Crown of Thorns, check him out. Did it for me, and it's perfect, absolutely perfect. Everything and anything I could want. But for other horror, I love the Friday the 13th franchise. I'm a big fan of like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the Child's Play series. I was kind of into Jeepers Creepers, and then I kind of tapered off of that. And then what was the other one? Big fan of the movie Trick or Treat. Massive fan. So good that have you seen it or no?
Yeah.
Okay, just how like there are 3 different stories and they all intertwine with each other and it's fun. But
right.
Love it.
Right.
But Halloween is number 1. I have a massive Halloween shrine collection in my living room, but Halloween is my go-to at all times. And I find it the small thing for me. I had my first professional wrestling match for Chaotic Wrestling in 2012 on October 19th, which coincidentally in canon is Michael Myers' birthday. So I'm like, shit, meant to be.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
That is pretty sweet. You really can't go wrong with that one.
Nope.
You know, I'm gonna get to a question, but I kind of you said Rob Zombie, so now I want to take a little longer to get there. Some people wouldn't know that the band White Zombie took their name from a very, very far in the past 1930s movie called White Zombie. That was. I'm actually kind of surprised that with Rob Zombie being such a huge fan of the movie and of movies in general, he hasn't like done a remaster because it's technically no longer owned by anyone and it's free domain. So
nice.
There's no like digital. I'm surprised he hasn't done like a digital remastering of it. Was what I'm saying.
Okay.
Since he fucking named his band after it, right?
Yeah.
And even more people wouldn't know that a lot of his songs are about movies in general, right?
Yeah.
So the lyrics like "more human than human," that is a reference to a quote from technically, if we want to talk about it, it is from Blade Runner, right?
Okay.
Which one is based upon a book called Electric Sheep, right? But it is 100% a Blade Runner quote because that is what they say they do with the replicants, that they make them more human than human, right? So he made it into a whole song.
Yeah.
So a lot of his songs, and some people don't know that. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? A lot of his songs, right? They're some kind of references to movies because he's such a big movie nerd. And, I could certainly agree with you on that assessment that he just goes overboard sometimes. Goes overboard. It's right. But with that being said, the idea of someone taking movie references to make their own thing, is that where Deliciously Vicious came from? Horror movies?
No. So
no,
the Deliciously Vicious is an homage or me tipping my hat to my friends in Minnesota who they were in a rap group called Ruthless, and they were a part of Lunatics Productions, and they put out an album called Deliciously Vicious, and it kind of just pinged off of me, and I'm like, because I was in this weird phase where like I was phasing out of the selfie-made man because I was like, I didn't want to get pigeonholed with being the guy with his phone. You know what I mean? I kind of and the way I look at wrestling and the way I look at myself is evolve or die, and I started the Selfie Made Man in April of 2014, 2014. And then I was taking it, and it was 2018. So like at that point, I was like, all right, I'm 4 years in. We're heading into 5 years. Like, can I build off of this? Or should I start building myself and then we go from there? Because if I stay with the selfie-made man, which is fine, and that's how I got a lot of notoriety for the most part, like I have to have a cell phone on me at all times. And I'm like, let's start being a little bit more serious and like let's start tinkering around with stuff. So like for a quick hot minute, I was just the self-made Vern Vicallo, and then I was just Vern Vicallo, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's try Deliciously Vicious. And it stuck. You know what I mean? Because I can rely on my traits of like what you said, like this pirate-esque looking guy holding a broad on a book and just like 80s hair metal. Like, okay, so we have pretty boys who can like wrestle, but how about someone who's like pretty fucking handsome and they can kick your ass also? And at that point, I'm getting guys pissed off because their girls are fawning over me. And there's something babyface, heel, whatever. I'm me, and I can amplify it, and I can get a reaction. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, well, Deliciously Vicious works, so let's fucking roll with it, you know? So, but that is where it came from. My boys out in Minnesota have an album out that I think was like 2005 or some shit like that, but it's called Deliciously Vicious, and that's Ruthless All Day, Lunatics Productions, Fatty McGee, MC Rents, and Professor Fresh. All day. All day.
See, that's great, man. I'll make sure to plug that one too.
Yeah.
Because first of all, it's cool to just have friends doing all kinds of wacky. Not every friend can be a wrestling
Nope.
because then is everybody gonna be a fucking wrestler? That's not how that works. People gotta do other shit.
Nope.
But it's great to know that you kind of just like were able to, you know, borrow that and make it your own and bring it on a level. And I always love hearing about, you know, that dialing it to 11, right? The idea of I'm doing this and I'm dialing it to 11, but it's still me. It's still who I am as a person. It's still this is still my thought process. Not to say that you can't be an actor who just pretends or whatever, but it's just I don't know. Maybe because I had to live through the early 90s where everybody was a fucking cartoon character of a wrestler.
What do you mean? We had plumbers, we had race car drivers. You know, we had a hockey, we had a goon, we had a hockey player.
Yes. That was when I changed the channel to watch, you know, someone fight in the back of an 18-wheeler instead, okay?
Bunkhouse brawl all day.
Bunkhouse brawl, baby, all day. I should say I'm very fortunate that my mother's side of the family were WWF fans, but my dad's side of the family was WCW fans. So I could go to one house for one pay-per-view and another house for another pay-per-view and never miss out on bunkhouse brawls for sure, like some kids would. I got very fortunate, very, very fortunate. I'm very lucky, especially like my father in the mid 90s. He was part of, him and my uncles and my grandfather were the pit crew for a monster truck.
Oh, no
So not too many kids got to just play with a monster truck every weekend at Grandpa's house.
That's super cool.
So I can say I'm very fortunate and lucky for those type of things. But the Deliciously Vicious. Every time Adam, he gets you good too. He's just like Deliciously Vicious. You know?
And so funny. Every so often, Adam will switch it. Viciously Delicious. And I tell him, and I look back at him, and it's nothing sexual or anything, but I'm like, Adam, look at my ass and read it from there. That's why I have it on my trunks. But I've had a handful of promotions throughout the years label me as Viciously Delicious, which still kind of works, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's close. It's close. It's
Yeah, but I know, and
it's
that,
not the word though.
and that's somewhat of like now a running joke with Adam, and I just tell him like, take 1 second, check out the cheeks, and you'll pronounce it correctly.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But
So now
regardless, love Adam Salzer to death. He's one of my favorite people. So
right.
props to Adam.
Now people are gonna be like, is Adam just checking out?
No, Adam is doing research. Adam is making sure he's getting my name right.
He's reading the long-standing cue card.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man, back to Abe. Honestly, this is something that's popping in my mind now.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about APW again. My brain goes to what's going to happen in the booth when you're back in the ring? Is there going to be no booth again? There's got to be a booth, right?
I don't know. I know. So at this point, I have no idea where or when I can start wrestling again. So as of right now, plans are just concrete. Every month, I'm doing commentary with my bestie, Big Moves Bill. I know Bill has taken on the clientele of Calvin Dumont. So I think when Calvin wrestles, and Calvin's wrestling Scotty Slade at the next show, when Calvin's wrestling, Bill's obviously not going to be there, and I'm going to have to do it solo. But at this point, I don't know. I hope to at least give Mike a heads up, or a heads up in advance, to be like, hey, this is what we're looking like. This is when I'll be back. Let's start shifting and bringing someone else in, so I can get back in the ring. But from what I believe, or my understanding, is the commentary's here to stay. We're just going to have to switch roles at some point. But yeah.
And Zach, we had Zach on the podcast. He said it himself. Like, his job is really just to kind of enhance. It's not to say it's not a necessity, but it is a complete enhancement. It's like, there are so many. I mean, how can you go back and watch? Not to say that you can't do it. There's plenty of matches you can go back and watch on mute, and you're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
But we think we go ultimate peak here, and we say you watch the 1998 Hell in a Cell, and you're not hearing Jim Ross lose his fucking mind. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it does enhance it. It's, once again, still an amazing match. It's obviously the easy go-to because of the fact that if ever you hear people use bad terms about wrestling, I show them that stuff, or I show them an ECW match and go, what does this look to you, motherfucker? Check it out.
Yeah.
But every time I make sure to have the commentary on, because he, Jim Ross, the legend that he is, it's like, someone stop the damn match. You know what I mean? Like, that's that whole layered nuance. And obviously you got to get back in the ring. You got to take the gold away from whoever has it at that point. But it just makes me wonder, I mean, maybe it opens up a new opportunity for somebody else down the line.
And that's exactly how I'd look at it. Like, I am a placeholder for someone else to come in and get an opportunity. If it's Zach, super cool. I've done commentary with Zach at Proving Ground a couple months ago, and the shit he was saying was blowing me away. And I was like, oh shit, I still need to help and call these matches with him and stuff. But, you know what I mean?
Right.
But he's phenomenal, and he's a great addition to any commentary team for any company.
Absolutely. And, I mean, I could say the same thing. I had Corey on for almost 4 hours, for Christ's sake. Corey Von Quest. That guy's the best.
Yeah.
And he does all the production, so it kind of smooths itself out. And hopefully no one attacks him at his booth, because it happens one too many times, especially at New Order Wrestling. For some reason, somebody's always trying to destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Swagatron. No, there was an incident at this last New Order show where Cash McGinnis decided to kick a a loaf of bread. It was a stuffed. I don't know. It's not a stuffed animal because it's not an animal. It's a loaf of bread, but it's a stuffed toy that's a loaf of bread.
Like a squishy?
And yeah, giant squishy. He kicked a giant loaf of squishy bread into the Corey Von Quest setup and almost took out the entire video production. And
that's something very like the Cash McGinnis I know.
Something very similar happened the show before that, where Fly Nye Noriega was defending his street fight championship.
Okay.
And for some reason, they thought a good idea would be to fight on the desk full of computers and other equipment, and nearly took out, all of video production in one fell swoop. So hopefully people stop doing that. But there are so many really great, talented commentary folks out there in the universe. So it'd be great. But I can say from experience, like let's say LPW. Once again, not throwing shade here, but I went to an LPW show maybe 4 months ago. Mm-hmm. Zach was in attendance just as a regular patron. Mm-hmm. He sat with JJ and I because once again, he is our friend, genuinely our friend.
Yeah.
And we were very fortunate because we got free commentary all night at LPW.
No.
We got Zach himself giving us our own personal commentary team.
That's
saying
awesome.
All kinds of stuff.
That's
doing
awesome.
His best. He does a really good Johnny Pierce impersonation. And he does all kinds he does and it was phenomenal. And I just was like, I guess maybe sometimes I just go to a wrestling show and try to turn it off and just be a spectator.
Right.
And up until that point, I had yet to truly realize, LPW doesn't have a team right there of guys doing commentary. LPW doesn't do XYZ. Once again, not to throw shade, just that incident made me kind of take a step back for a moment and realize, oh shit, they didn't have this or they didn't have that, right? They didn't have a Chris Sanders. Shout out to Chris Sanders. Those type of individuals in the room. So yeah, there's always room for improvement. And it's great, especially if, once again, we don't know what the fuck's Mike, but I'm not talking on behalf of him at all, but what Mike's planning, there's room for expansion. That means there's roles for people. Yeah. And Big Moves Bill, people could say whatever they want about him, but he gets me every fucking time with that. Every time with his catchphrase, every time I'm in the background and somebody's looking at me like, you asshole, are you rooting for this guy? And I'm like, listen, if I like it, I like it. But he does that. I almost don't want to do it because I don't want to fucking steal his gimmick right now.
It's fine. What I'm saying it's fine. No, it's fine. But that is my bestie, Big Moves Bill. And then I think whenever the footage comes out, when he was in the ring at the show, when he was interrupting Alice, he was like, my name is, and I was just like on the commentary table, like, up, here it comes, there it comes. And I'm like,
right. For those of you who don't know the sound of my voice, you call me Big Moves Bill. I love when he does it.
His cadence is perfect for that.
He does it perfect. Once again, guys, I wasn't trying to emulate him. Now let him be the master of his craft as he is. Shout out to Bill because he's great. Yeah. And you go and find it. And you probably, actually, you know what? I did. We're almost eclipsing a year. We are officially eclipsing a year on this channel as of July.
Awesome. Congratulations.
I just fucking literally realized that on air, which totally makes sense because I've been having some of my old stuff pop up and it's like, a year ago today, you were doing this. And I'm like,
dope.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
A year ago today, I would have went to my first for a very long time chaotic shows. Had a wonderful conversation with Sean Vegan Keegan.
Yeah.
And decided to start doing, he was the first person I sold the fucking podcast to. I was like, will you be on the podcast? I want you to be the first guy on the podcast. And guess what? He was.
That's awesome.
In November of last year, he was. And one of the things we did, JJ and I, is we were there for the inaugural show for Next Gen Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
And I got a lot of really great footage from Next Gen, including Big Moves Bill. Mm-hmm. And I made sure to make a whole video specifically just for Bill highlighting his presentation, as you will.
His everything.
His everything. So I might take you forever to scroll back on the fucking channel and find it, but it's there somewhere. I can tell you that much. Somewhere buried in the entertainment, for all the ones. So maybe I'll have to dig that out. Hopefully it'll just pop up on the feed. I got one yesterday.
It'll probably pop up on the feed, or just, I know he's doing better on Instagram with his Big Moves Bill, but like I have him on TikTok and he is popping off on TikTok. So, and it's all him doing his catchphrase and all this other stuff. So,
absolutely.
Big Moves Bill, because there's only one and it's my best.
Only one. There you go. And, shout back out to the next gen. There's Brother Abel.
Yes.
Brother Abel. He is incredibly talented.
Yeah.
Let's just call a spade a spade. The fact that he is the age that he is and that he's as talented as he is speaks volumes. Volumes, right? 100%. But he makes sure to put his own edits out there, especially on TikTok on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, check this kid out.
Yep.
Check this kid out. Check this kid out. Because he is so young. And he has so long in this business. Right? We said it about the breadwinners. But we could say it about him too. And, Nova and a few others. They have so much time. Right? Yep. There's so much time out there. And it's always good to make sure people are checking that stuff out. I'm really hoping marginally speaking, their shows, the next gen. Some people have been asking, like, how you haven't gone next gen. Well, so they're either the last couple of shows, they've either been up against Chaotic, which, Nepwa, I'm doing Ring Crow, I'm there.
Yeah,
okay?
No, it's completely understandable. I know, they have what's the date? I know they have 2 shows in August. Yeah. One's on a Saturday in Manchester, and then they have their 1-year anniversary show in Nashua on a Friday, and they have a live band playing that Friday also. I will be in attendance, both of them. I usually just hang out in the back and just watch the show, and if anyone wants feedback, they can pick my brain. But I'll be at both of those shows as well. But definitely, anyone seeing this, please go check out a Next Gen Championship Wrestling show, because top to bottom, amazing. And you're going to see one-of-a-kind talent. Brother Abel. You got Big Bad Teddy Jacks. You have Old Fish Sticks. You have Professor Leach. Nova Michaels. All of them. And I know Diego's there as well. Obro has been popping in from occasion. I was there until I got hurt. I know when I'm cleared, I will be going back in there, and I'll probably try to take their championship from Malice Morgan if he still has it at that time, because I'm coming for it all.
There you go.
Yeah.
And to put it out there, Saturday, August 8th. I looked it up. I know, guys. Saturday, August 8th in Manchester, Next Gen for that show. And then their 1-year anniversary celebration is Friday, August 21st at Pennachuck Middle School in Nashua, New Hampshire.
There we are.
And that is certainly a show that I truly hope is not in conflicts with other things. And now my brain's wondering at this point. So we can go, because JJ and I were there for the inaugural show.
Right.
It was the first time I made what I called the Rev Dude review. It was a 22-minute video recapping the entire event from beginning to end.
Okay.
And it's what actually turned me. Before that, I was doing the channel, but it was mostly WWE and New Japan and TNA and stuff like that. And as soon as I did that Rev Dude review and I got the feedback from the Next Gen crew that I did, I completely converted to independent professional wrestling.
And look at you now.
So,
yeah.
And I would never change it for the life of me.
Good.
It was great. So,
yeah.
I did a great video. I think it was like 4 minutes for for the Church of Filth because they were dominant on that first night, especially that first show.
They still are.
They very much they are. They definitely are, and
they still are. Yep.
And they're great. They're talented. They're greatly talented people, and they have a great future for sure. And yeah, I know it would be wild for us to be able to go to that 1 year anniversary. So I'm really hoping it doesn't end up conflicting with any of my other previous things that I am obligated to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes they would go up against Focus Pro as well, which once again everybody knows I'm there. Sorry guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. Even though technically they're a lot closer because they always run in New Hampshire and we live in New Hampshire, so it works out. But yeah, no, that first stuff, and one of the best things I feel like that was right around that time was bringing JJ to her first Chaotic Wrestling show. She attributes a lot of her fandom to her literal fandom to Mecca versus Shannon Levangie.
Nice.
So
nice.
That was her first that was her match that got her into becoming a real wrestling fan. And it was just an incredible thing to see, to as I like to say, pause for the cause here. As anybody who's watched this channel, you would have seen me and my daughter normally we interview some people together. And as a father, I've been a father for 24 years now. There is no word in the English language to describe the incredible feeling I get to be able to go to all of these incredible wrestling promotions, see wonderfully talented people like yourself on a regular basis, and not only feel like part of the family, right? But to do it with the person that I love the most.
Absolutely. That's what it's about.
Right?
That's it.
I have 3 kids. People always like, how many kids? You have 3 kids? Yes, I have 3 kids. My boys, I'll be honest, they couldn't give 2 shits about wrestling. Despite the fact, and he might hear me because he's in the other room, my son is literally named Sean Austin. I named him after Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin. He could not care about wrestling. He probably wants me to stop telling people that is named after those people because then you won't have to hear about wrestling.
Never.
And I love my kids. I love my sons. Give them a rock. But to be fair, my daughter is the love of my life. So the fact that I get to do these things with her and she loves wrestling just as much as I do, right? She has her own, we all do. We all have our own version of fandom. She has her version. She's new to it and it's amazing. And I love nourishing it and I love celebrating it. And I love the fact that she has wrestling aunties and wrestling uncles and wrestling Mike Crossa and Katie Prescott, her wrestling parents.
Awesome.
They were on this show and said it. And they also challenged me to a match, which I was like, great. It's going to be 3-on-1. This is going to get beat up. I'm going to get beat up and heartbroken. How am I going to beat Mike? Come on, get out of here. But with all that being said, just shedding some love on some people quickly because, just do. But I love the fact that, I get to share that with my kid. And here we go. APW did say that children, and I believe it was 10 and under, will be free at future shows, guys. So there you go. You were wondering where I was going with that rant and rave, and somehow I spun it into a thing anyways. That's how it works. APW is now going to be having it so children 10 and under are going to be able to get free admittance to their events, which I think is incredible because that's where it all starts.
Absolutely.
Really.
Absolutely. So that's something that APW used to do back in the day. And then I believe around 2021, after like COVID and stuff, they steered away from it. But now, I'm not sure the details. I know from the brief conversation that I had with Mike, it had it was something to do with the town or whatnot. But he's bringing it back because it's something that they used to do, that APW used to do like 10, 15 years ago. And why not? 10 and under, that's a perfect age. Bring your child, have them fall in love with this. Because I fell in love with this when I was 4. You know what I mean? And it's been I have 3 constants. Pro wrestling, it's horror, and it's the Insane Clown Posse. Those are you know what I mean? As wild as that sounds, those are the 3 things that I have had for more than half of my life. But wrestling was the first thing, and I've never fallen out of love with it. As much as I can say it's hurt, it's pulled on my emotions, it's made me cry, it's made me happy, everything. Like, I fucking love it with every fiber in my being, and for you to be able to have that common ground, and that is what you have with your daughter, is beautiful, and then that's where you guys can, blossom your relationship as a father-daughter, and she can like what she likes, you like what you like, but the common ground is pro wrestling, and that can't beat that at all.
Not at all. No, and it's incredible because, JJ's life goal is to now be a professional wrestling photographer. That's what she wants to do.
Fuck yeah. Yes.
And it all started because one day I fucking started doing a wrestling channel and I wanted to cover independent professional wrestling. Boom. And she came along for the ride and fell in love. So
amazing.
It's
amazing.
It's incredible. Yeah. And hopefully soon she'll, sooner than later, she'll be able to start being part of those crews because,
fingers crossed.
I've had people like Evan Harn, who's been a photographer at many places. We talk to all of them. There's Jen goes to APW.
Oh yeah.
Jen Vesp, for Jen Vesp Photography, for those who want to look at her Instagram, she's a phenomenal talent.
Amazing.
For the longest time, she did like comedy shows and stuff like that. Now she's switching into this space. She's a phenomenal talent and
just a phenomenal person. She's amazing. I randomly would reach out to her on the side just to be like, hey, you coming to the show? Just because she's awesome to just have around and shoot the shit with. Right. So just overall, and to add on how amazing her photography is, can't get any better.
Right. Absolutely. And, she's been very, you talk about how she's a phenomenal person. She's been very encouraging to JJ. She's been very, getting her out there. Don't be afraid. We'll go get it together.
Yeah.
There was actually a Rad Pro show. I want to say maybe 4 or 6 weeks ago. I can't remember off the top of my head. And Jen, and then there was another photographer. I can't remember her name. I had only seen her once before. And then JJ, and it was super cool because the 3 of them had a powwow, and they were kind of like, these are the shots I'm looking for. What are you going to do today? And they just kind of had this like, oh, okay, well, what I'm doing, I can be over here, and what you're doing, you can be over here, and what you're doing, they just worked together to be like, hey, I know you're, because, and I've talked about it on the podcast with other photographers, and I'm going to have a few more on here, I should say, to do it. But every photographer may be a wrestling photographer, but the story they want to tell with their camera is different.
Absolutely, right? Yeah.
So what JJ's wanting to get is not what Jen's looking for.
Right.
Anybody else might be looking for. So the fact that she was even allowed in the huddle in the first place, so that what she was looking for was acknowledged and given to her.
Right.
Like, come on.
That's cool. That's so cool.
So cool. That's just goes to show what kind of person that she is, to make sure that my daughter was getting the coverage that she was wanting to get.
100%.
So I always have to respect those people. Or I can give a shout out once again to Corey Von Quest. That guy's the best. New Order Wrestling.
Yep.
JJ was given full permission to be ringside, to be as close as the action as JJ wanted for the match of Vile versus Wildcat. Now,
okay.
originally it was going to be Vile versus Shannon Levangie for the NOW Women's Championship. So it did change at the last minute, which happens. You've been injured. Shannon got injured. It happens.
Yep.
So whenever Shannon is cleared and back and ready to defend her title, that first title defense, Corey has already promised, don't worry, JJ will be able to be ringside, up close and personal with JJ's camera for Shannon Levangie's first title defense back from injury in New Order Wrestling. And I couldn't thank him enough to make sure that she got to do it once and that she'll definitely get to do it again.
Yeah.
I literally had to invent an entire app to be able to place her pictures from that event because she had 600 pictures.
That's awesome.
And it's wild. It's crazy. And most of them are posting every 2 hours. So New Order Wrestling, if you want to see what my daughter can do, even at a young age, and yes, I understand from a technical standpoint, she has a long way to go to an extent, but she's young, she's hungry, she has passion, and she's very much willing to, work for it. So check that out on King Cade's JJ, of course.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the ingredients, like a willingness, a want, an idea of what, what she wants to convey with her pictures. That all the ingredients to success. And if she sticks with it and keeps it going, she's only going to expand and get more opportunities in more places. And that's going to be fantastic for her, fantastic for you, and just overall great for New England with another photographer, So
another photographer who's got, 13 years old, many, many years ahead of her to own the craft. Many years ahead of her to own the craft. So it's, some people have said XYZ thinking that I'm some kind of egocentric, whatever. But listen, if I had to shut this podcast down tomorrow to make my daughter's dreams come true and you didn't think that I would do that for her, you clearly don't know who the fuck I am. So just sit down. And some people, let's just say that.
Don't ever let anyone dictate how you feel and think or call you egocentric or whatever the fuck. If they're mistaking that for you just believing in yourself and wanting to make something better for you, better for the environment of pro wrestling in New England and something better for your daughter, then they can get fucked. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that being said, though, I am very excited for APW to let the doors 10 and under for free. I think that's great because this is the time, right? And I've said it on the podcast, and I'm kind of working on a whole thing about this, but the WWE stepped in the shit. Let's be honest, guys. They stepped in the shit. TKO decided to make their tickets so expensive that the average family cannot go to it. And this isn't a conspiracy. The person who runs the company himself literally said, okay, and I might not say this verbatim, but he said literally the idea that Vince McMahon was an idiot for pricing WWE for families. And that going forward from that point, WWE was not going to price their tickets for families. They were going to price their tickets for profit. And it's their company. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it. That's fine.
Yep.
The good thing about that is that instead of, let's say recently they're going to have a house show in Manchester. When I looked it up, nosebleeds were $200. Do you know how many tickets I could get at APW for $200? Okay.
Yeah.
This is the time, guys. If you're saying, hey, I love professional wrestling and I want to see more of it out in the world, this is the time to discover the independents because they're not going to rip you off and they're cheaper than a movie at this point. Let's be honest. Cheaper than a movie.
100%.
So definitely $200 for one person. That gives you a whole year at the fucking White Eagle for Wrestling Open every Thursday. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, you're absolutely correct. And I mean, at that point, what I think front row for APW is, I believe, is $20. So at that point, that's what, 10 shows? You can pay for 10 shows? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's literally normal. I mean, I want to say this year APW is scheduled for 10 shows, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
believe either 10 or 11. I know there was nothing in May, but usually 10 or
Right.
11. Yeah. So, I mean,
So
boom.
you
Okay, you just got the whole season, you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
You skip one house show and you could watch a whole year's worth of APW. Sounds like a plan to me, guys. Thinking. And if I'm going to keep shamelessly promoting APW, which I fucking can, this is my show.
Plug away to every and any promotion, because that's the only way that any and every promotion can grow is if we keep talking about them. And that's
exactly.
That's what helps everyone.
Right. And, you know, this year they introduced that season pass where you can pay the one fee and you get the front row and all. Yeah. You get the front row pass and you get discounts and all kinds of stuff and other things. I originally thought about doing it myself, but then I realized we never sit down, so it probably is a waste of time getting front row seats.
Bingo.
Probably should.
Bingo.
We're too busy trying to be behind everybody so we can get the right shots or whatever else. But
I noticed when I was on commentary, every time I looked over, I was like, "Oh, you guys were standing up and filming and stuff." Yeah, no, that's fine. That's super cool. Sometimes you kind of just prefer to stand up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it makes filming a lot easier. At least with what I'm doing, makes filming a lot easier. Yeah. I know JJ. I want to say last night. I did decide, and this is something that I put out in regular videos, and I don't think I've said on the podcast, so it's probably good I say it anyways. I did decide that unless prompted by the promoter, if I am a person working ring crew, I will no longer record that show because I feel like it's a conflict of interest, in my opinion. Fair. That person has bestowed upon me a duty to make sure that their show is running smoothly. And not to say there isn't 60 other people in the room, because there normally is, and I might be the last guy on the list to ask anyways. But if they so happen to need an extra hand, it would be a conflict for me to say, oh, I can't help now because I'm recording something.
Bingo.
Right?
Bingo.
It would be a serious... So I haven't recorded Chaotic Wrestling for 2 months at this point. I haven't recorded Rad Pro for 2 months at this point.
Right.
They didn't record other stuff. Now, if the promoter's like, hey, man, I don't give a shit. We got 20 people here. Go record. Get some more videos of me out there. Sounds good, bro. Sure, no problem.
Hell yeah.
You're the boss, right? Yep. Once again, I was in the Army. Yeah. I'm okay with everybody having a higher rank than me and telling me what to do. That's what happens. You don't have... regular civilians, you might go to a job and you maybe have 1, 2, or 3 bosses. Anyone in the military who has a higher rank than you on their collar is technically your boss in some way. They can tell you what to do. Yeah. Do you know how many fucking people that is when you start out? That's like 1 million fucking people who can tell you what to do. Okay. Yeah. It's 1 million fucking people. And it's not even just the Army. That crosses over. If you're in the military and we have Navy, Air Force, Marines, whatever, if they're of a higher caliber, they can tell you what to do. Yeah. You have to do what they say. So when I'm standing there holding a thing and they're like, hey, put that over there. And then somebody else is like, well, put that over there. I don't fucking get bothered because once again, I'm just doing what I'm told. It doesn't hurt my feeling. Yep. So
no, you have a good head on your shoulders and you know exactly the role. So that's good.
Right. No, I had talked to the promoters about it and I said, I'm not going to record, but JJ's still going to take pictures. We're good. They're like, yep. I'm like, all right, we're good. Sounds good. That's all. Otherwise, I guess I'm buying her a ticket. Then then there's no conflict of interest. There's no conflict of interest. So buy a ticket, enjoy the ride, ladies and gentlemen. APW 10 and under, free. August 28th is the next one?
29th. It's 29th is Saturday, yeah.
I feel like somebody just told us to go to a show on August 29th. This is what happens. Everybody's always like, are you going to be there at my show on that day? I'm going to have to double check.
I mean, we said it earlier in this chat that usually there's like 4 fucking shows to choose from every Friday, every Saturday. You know what I mean? so I get it, but
Right.
you know,
Is it Focus Pro? Is that what I'm thinking? Focus Pro.
Focus Pro, I believe, is the 30th. They're the last Sunday. I believe it's a
They're doing a
Sunday.
Sunday show.
Yeah. So they're
Okay.
they're
It's a
this
Sunday show.
Sunday, and then they have another
Your show
Sunday
last
show that's at 1 p.m.
Right. So yeah, August 2nd they have Get Rich or Die Trying, which is the one that we've been talking about for
Yep.
context on that thing.
Yep.
Which is Sunday, August 2nd at 6 p.m. at the Great American Beer Hall. And Sunday, which kind of just throws me off because I'm used to going to them on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
So yes, Focus Pro Wrestling back at the Widowmaker Brewing Company in Braintree, Massachusetts for August 30th at 1 p.m., which is honestly normally when they run their show. I'm kind of surprised they intentionally for August 2nd pushed it back so they were specifically going against SummerSlam. I thought that was pretty ballsy. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they did that.
Yeah.
Because this is actually the first time in in many years, I think, that I actually went to a different show and didn't stay home for SummerSlam. But at the same time, they're getting greedy and they have 2 days anyways. So that's your fault. You know?
You can you can always watch it back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. See, and so it's up. I pulled it up here. Focus Pro Wrestling, Know Your Enemy, Saturday, September 19th, 8 p.m. at the Widowmaker Brewing Company. I should say it. Eventbrite is the home for Next Gen Championship Wrestling and Focus Pro Wrestling. If you are not on Eventbrite following these people, make sure you go ahead and do so because
get your tickets.
Get your tickets. And that Focus Pro crowd, man, I love those guys. The Focus Pro crowd shows up. They're ready to go. Braintree, they get wild. And it's a great time. And me, I don't drink alcohol. So but the great thing for me is, they have some non-alcoholic, I should say the Widowmaker Brewing Company has some non-alcoholic beverages that are pretty delicious, tasty. And they also have the those death cans, whatever those, the waters that have the flavoring.
The liquid death. Yeah.
Liquid death. Yeah, they have them. So that kind of that's probably the one time I'll actually drink something that's carbonated is when I'm there. Yeah. I'm like, I'll get myself the liquid death, or I can't remember the name of it, but it's like some kind of nootropic drink that I've seen that it's very obscure, but it's delicious. So I'll grab one of those.
That's awesome.
I feel like there's so many of those. My brain was thinking of the idea that there's so many shows like let's say LPW. They're kind of on their like summer break, you could say. So there's a couple of those.
So if you kind of look at LPW, they tend to run shows around quarterly. So every other month type deal. There's sometimes where they'll do, I think, a show almost kind of back to back, like per month. But I know their next show is September Fall Frenzy, and then they usually have their November Rain or November to Remember in November. So they and then Lucky Lottery or Homecoming, whatever they brand it as, usually in February. So every other month type deal, and it's just enough that it keeps bringing people back, and they keep packing that place with like 200 plus people. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Right. Once again, another group of talented individuals. Some crossover, right? Brian Bayside goes there. You go there.
Yeah.
Move there. Whether it's there's so many people at talent. Elia, he's been at APW. He's been at LPW. Looks like their next show is actually Saturday, September 12th. Once again, shameless self-promotion for other people at this point. Fall Frenzy. You'll be seeing
Alley Catch.
Alley Catch. Yeah. That's going to be exciting. She's very talented. She's very and she's been so many great places. I know that I've definitely seen her a few times at the Open,
Yeah.
and I'm very excited to see what goes down with that specifically, like what she's up to.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a great one. She's one of those people that, not to say she doesn't come to New England not often, because she comes to New England often, I guess, but it's always a genuine pleasure to have her, I guess.
Absolutely.
That's where
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. And we'll have the new LPW heavyweight champion Scotty Slade in action, defending his title for once. The dad.
The King of Dad style. The King of Dad style.
Oh my God.
Johnny Pierce will be there. I know. Alicia Edwards, she'll be there.
Right.
Hellcat, Selena.
Yep. Selena, as anybody who knows, who's wise and on the business, Johnny Pierce and Selena are JJ's wrestling aunt and uncle. So
amazing.
We're always rooting for Johnny, for Pierce World Order to take over. PWO for life, baby. So
hey, until I come for that Hard Knocks championship. Come on.
Yeah. Taking all the gold.
Yeah.
And Selena just made her wrestling open debut.
Couldn't be happier for her. Very, very, very happy that she was able to do that. That was amazing.
Yeah. And then it was something that she wanted for a long time, and very JJ and I were over the moon for her to be able to make her debut, and well deserved, of course. So, Jesus, this became I love the fact this became a plug fest at this point.
Hey,
20 minutes of plug fest.
It is what it is. It's fine. I'm all about because I've been everywhere. I've no problem, you know what I mean? I've been in the ring with so many people. I have no issue putting giving praise to everybody. I'm on the shelf right now. I can't say this Saturday or later tonight, I'm going to be at Cabo Wrestle and I'm taking on X, Y, and Z, I'm going to go hang out, see my friends and, just boost everybody up. That's where I'm at in life right now,
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad place to be either, right?
I'd much prefer to be wrestling in the ring, but I'm still active in the scene, I didn't go disappear I didn't disappear for 6 months. I was thinking about it and I was like, nah, I can't. Fuck that.
Now, I mean, you got to make that, you got to get that seat back for commentary. You get that warm for the next guy. So you can go win your gold.
Absolutely.
Speaking of gold, and we were talking about dominant reigns, and you said it yourself. You were talking about that you felt there was a certain time in your career before COVID where you're very dominant. And I have it down here, hopefully, because sometimes internet research can be a bunk. Let me tell you. NCW 2019 Ring of Thrones winner.
Yeah.
You won the NCW Heavyweight Championship, of course. Are we expecting that kind of reign in the future? Like that time where you were just so, masterclass with your work. You know what I mean?
Love it.
Is this where your brain is going for the future?
So to just get back in and just kind of hop back into the main event and just win championships. Yes, but I'd love to win championships. I know I can win championships. I know I can main event any company, right? But the more championships I potentially collect, the more I have to be not with said company, but it would somewhat hinder me being able to step out of New England, because at that point I have to commit to more dates, which is absolutely fine, right? And the pay will be better, and there's no complaints here. But I would love to, when I come back, if I can just start branching out and going all around to all these other places, that'd be fantastic. Have the the main places that I work in New England, and I'll collect gold in those places, you know? But that would be the only thing that I would say, like, because you have to look at it, like what we were saying earlier, there's like 4 different companies that run every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If I win championship gold for like 2 places, then that means 2 places I'm committed to, and I wouldn't be able to branch off and go elsewhere. Not saying that's a bad thing, but like, I want to be everywhere because I want everyone to know my talents and showcase what I can. And that's exactly what I'm looking at right now. So, short answer, I'm collecting gold when I come back. Long answer, I don't know which gold I'll be collecting. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the overall spectrum of it, like, I'm coming back and I'm taking over. That's it. I was very blessed and fortunate that I earned that heavyweight championship for NCW in 2019. I beat BRG for it, and I recall I did it one-armed because earlier in the night, GA West put me in a submission hold and legitimately just took my arm wasn't separated, but it wasn't 100% operational, but I was still able to beat BRG and become the new champ that night, which amazing. And to see where BRG is right now, he's all over the place. Couldn't happen to a better guy, you know?
Yeah, I know he loves Trick. He was Trick Willie's assistant for TNA. That was always fun.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about the idea of it, and I had to think about this. There are a couple of wrestling promotions in the Scranton area. Just food for thought there.
Yeah.
Just food for thought there. Wondering if they could be in need of something, you know, so deliciously vicious. That would be fantastic. Whether I think there's Seek Pro Wrestling, Grand Slam Pro Wrestling. There's a few of them on that this because there's actually, like, you know, there's a lot of sports in general in that, like, Scranton Wilkes area, and there's just a food for thought. Go back and see the rest of the spots. There's so many. I gotta send you all
spots. See if there's a wrestling promotion that is strictly just office character base, because that'd be fantastic.
Are you gonna beat Dwight? What are we doing?
I don't. So, and that's the other, like, I don't know which character I would like relate to the most, because like Dwight's just out there, and Michael is hilarious but cringy, and like Ryan is just a heel to the core. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Creed is Creed.
Creed is Creed.
Yeah.
And the fact that he actually was a real musician and they brought that on the show was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
And they got him. He was playing his own music there too. That was super cool.
Yeah. He just went to the thing. I mean, if we're talking about overall though, Jim won. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Jim, in my opinion, he's actually, got.
You know what?
If
I were to go in, I would try to do to make everyone uncomfortable. I'd try to do a Robert California gimmick.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love Robert California because it's just so uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable. No, I could honestly see that working very well.
Yeah.
We're just gonna sit here all day booking a office related.
That'd be so dope. Yeah.
If we, and you know the wild thing about that show, I don't know if you've ever branched out, because everybody goes back to the British version since it's the OG, which they did have some really fun stuff. And their version of Pam and Jim, they actually didn't get together until the very last episode. Like,
really?
You have to wait all the way through to the end. And at the very last minute of the very last episode, Jim finally has the balls to be like, "This is my woman," right? It's about time. But the wild thing is there's like 10 other versions of that show in like many different crazy countries. Like you could get it in like, I know there's one from India. There's an Indian version of The Office. So there's all kinds of wild, wacky stuff. So I feel like since they have, it's almost like a multiverse of Office.
Oh
you
boy.
You could almost bring in you could bring in the multiverse characters to all have a battle royale.
That'd be phenomenal. I know. I think the Australian version was already canceled. I don't think that did well. Did you check out The Paper? Have you seen that? Or no?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah. You know, I feel like it's kind of a difficult space to play in, right? So I went to the Art Institute of Phoenix to get a bachelor's degree in digital filmmaking and video production.
Mm-hmm.
So being someone who's studied film the way that I have, I always comprehend the fact that it's difficult to plug and play. It's not easy to go into an already well-known space that's loved and do artfully and do it as respectfully as possible. So the fact that they were, because what most people don't realize, what most people would have tried to do is just revive The Office and bring them back and make them do that all over again. But they were like, we want to do something similar, but not the same. And we want to pass that baton off. So the fact that they were in the same universe, so to speak, and they kind of passed the baton off and they're like kind of doing that stuff, I thought that was a great idea. Yeah. I'm sure some people think otherwise, but I thought it was well written. I think that they're doing a great idea of keeping within this time frame without destroying the past or milking it. Because let's be honest, a lot of those shows, they really they don't do anything new when they try to revive something. They don't really do anything new. They just give you the old nostalgia bait. Nostalgia bait. Yeah. So the fact that they're in that space, but they're not just nostalgia baiting you all day, right? They're not just fan servicing you. I thought that was a great way to go. What did you think?
I thoroughly enjoyed The Paper. I thought it was fun. It took a couple episodes to really like catch me, but I enjoy it. I'm happy that they have Oscar in there for something. I remember I lost my shit when Oscar was talking and he was like, Wayne Gretzky once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And then he pauses and then he's like, an idiot also said that to me. And I was just like, oh, Michael. And, I was just like, that was perfect. That was so perfect. That was perfect. Without even saying Michael. And he was just like, an idiot told me that once. But and then even still, like the end where the two characters that were kind of the Jim and Pam finally have something happen. I was just like, I felt it, and I was just like, great way to end season 1. I can't wait for season 2. So it has me hooked. I thoroughly enjoy it, and the characters are nice, and you can kind of see like who's who in a sense, or
who's playing that role. They have that similar vibe.
I think I forget her name, but it's the one who has the thick Italian accent.
Yeah,
who, like a lot of people are not happy with whatsoever. They just don't like her, and I was like, well, I feel she's a combination of like Dwight and Michael combined, and I'm like, this is perfect because she's just over the top and obnoxious. So, but no, I
could see her going with that.
Yeah. Because she's an idiot. She's an idiot, but she's also calculated, and I just I enjoy it, and I very much enjoyed The Paper. So great stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, the fact that they have like super fan episodes for The Office where it's like 2 hours long. Like,
bro, those are the only ones that I watch now. I love those. I love those so much.
Yeah. No, it's spectacular. I can't say though, I have seen all of the UK Office and I thought it was really good. And the idea that the first episode of both shows are literally the exact same Like they used the exact same script and everything.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool because it, you know, as a film nerd myself, as somebody who loves directing, it's cool to see that you can give the same material to different people and they can put their own spin on it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? They can really kind of puff it up and make it something else. I mean, putting it in the context of wrestling, there was a Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
He was styling profile and he was wearing all this stuff. But then we get in my opinion, the GOAT, Ric Flair, styling and profiling. And yeah, he had the name and they had the similar whatever, but it's still Rick is Rick. You know what I mean? You can't really argue with Ric Flair being Ric Flair. He's
if you can elevate it to the next level, it's yours. You know? And that's exactly what he did.
And he made one of the most iconic noises in the history of the world. Like, not even just like wrestling whatsoever. It has transcended. Yeah. The woo is, I mean, we literally now have the fucking woo socks in Worcester, Massachusetts. Woo. Anytime they get a hit or a home run or whatever, Ric Flair's woo is right there. They get strikeout, you hear woo, you hear Ric Flair's woo on the PA. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows it.
Universally around the world, every wrestling promotion, every fan in every wrestling promotion, anytime a chop is thrown, the crowd woos. Insane. Woo. Insane. Woo. You know?
I mean, it's some of these fucking kids, they've never even watched a Ric Flair match. But they know the woo.
They know. It's just something that's hardwired into their brains.
Exactly. You can't dispute it. That's unfucking disputable. You know, and I meant to go there with this, but we kind of did this. So I meant to go there earlier, but because we talked about it a couple times. When you left, you were tag champion.
Right.
You've been tag champion many times with many different people over the last so many years.
I have.
Are you looking to do any maybe new partnerships in the future? Maybe find new things like that are down the pike? Or are we talking solo star for the future as well? Like just solo? Or are we talking you're going to get tag gold? You're going to be like the like Steve Austin and Triple H and have the world title and the tag title at the same time?
The two-man power trip. So
two-man power trip.
Just what you had said when you were in the military. Someone pretty much tells you what to do and you will do it. A booker, promoter, they bring me in. I'm at their discretion. What would you like from me? At that point in time with Lucky Pro, I've already been, I was a 2-time LPW heavyweight champion. I personally think I have done everything in Lucky Pro without having the Hard Knocks title and at the time the tag championships. And talking with Chris Sullivan after AG and Chase Stevens won the titles, he told me that he wanted me to be in a tag team, and I was like, you're booking me, you're paying me, you're booking me, so whatever. And I trust Chris 100% because Chris and Jim at LPW helped me immensely when I was first breaking in like 20, really branching out and like being consistently booked with Lucky Pro in, I believe, 2014, 2015, and then so on. Because from 2016 to 2019, I was their heavyweight champion,
Right.
So I trust them, and whatever route they want to go, they go. And then I start spitballing ideas like, hey, if this is the scenario that I'm in, how does this sound, this sound, this sound? And they're amazing enough that they give me, feedback, and then they kind of let me like guide the ship a little bit, because I know the Lucky Pro crowd very, very well. But that whole Gunnar Moody thing was just not last minute, but just Vern, this is what you're doing. I'm like, all right, sick. Cool. Let's fucking go. And I had, like I said earlier, I had ideas for Gunnar and I like with Lucky being running almost kind of quarterly, you can kind of create stories, but you can also, it's tough because the fan retention to remember something that happened 2 months ago for a match that was like 10, 15 minutes. It's kind of tough, but I was going to give it a try because I just had this like good idea for Gunnar Moody and I for however long our title reign was going to be, that I was going to go a certain way with it. And when I come back, if that's the route that we want to drive back down, absolutely cool. I personally myself have never, and I've had tag titles with a bunch of people. I've never looked at myself as being a tag team guy, Not saying I'm against being brought in for it. I'll fucking do it, whatever. But, I see myself as a singles guy. But if you want me for a tag, fuck it. I'll be a tag. I've held tag titles off Gunnar Moody, Bo Douglas, Dan Terry, multiple promotions with Dan Terry, with Channing Thomas. So I've been very fortunate to have solid tag partners and to make it work for whatever scenario we're making it work.
So, I mean, that's great, right?
Yeah.
It's always great to be open to the future.
Mm-hmm.
Great, wonderful opportunities. If you're not open to opportunities, the opportunities don't fucking show up. Let's just be honest.
Bingo.
It's not opportunity to fucking show up. I know, and you said the Hard Knocks title, and it was like, oh man, that means you're just one step away from being a Grand Slam champion over there. That's what it sounds like to me.
Damn right.
I know that's something that I feel like for myself at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
To take a step out for a second there, myself in this industry, when people ask me, what is it that you want to do? And once again, we talked about opportunities.
Yeah.
I think there's a giant opportunity, especially since you mentioned it. It's difficult for people to retain the information that they got 2 months ago.
Right.
And it makes sense, right? I feel like many promotions, whether New England or not, there is a opportunity for, we'll say deeper and better, keeping of the historical books, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a place like Chaotic Wrestling who just celebrated their 25th anniversary, and I was fortunate enough to be at that show and watch Mortar fight WWE superstar Ivar.
Amazing.
For the Chaotic Wrestling Championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my brain goes with whether it's a short-term retention or a long-term comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
The wild thing is that there are wrestling fans out there that seemingly have this historical accurate knowledge about things. And I just really hope that someday, once again, me putting this thought process in the world, I can help a promotion do that and more, because of the fact that there's just so much opportunity, and that opportunity would grow the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
The idea of it's difficult for someone to take, like the WWE. They literally have I don't know if you've been on their stuff, but they have a whole channel just for WCW at this point.
That's awesome.
And all they do is fucking put old WCW shows on YouTube for free. That's all they do.
Yeah.
They do that for AAA as well now.
Mm-hmm.
They do that for some ECW shows. Like, they have their own dedicated stuff. And my thought process, putting myself out there as an opportunity for people, if they watch this, hey man, I can do that shit.
Yeah.
I can go through footage and make it pretty and put it back on the internet so they can remember, hey, this was the first time Vern won a championship.
Yeah.
So it enriches the story, and it reminds them that the past means something, that it's not just forgotten history, you know, that all that was not for naught. And there was a time where you wrestled Dijak once before, and there was a time where you wrestled Chase Stevens before, and there was you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's that's not a conversation I normally get to have because a lot of the
Right.
people I talk to have only been in the business for like 5 years. No,
Right.
no disrespect.
Yeah,
But you having the longevity you do, I can say that to someone like you, or I said that to Mike, right?
Yeah.
There's something about trying to not only encapsulate the past, but the present, so that in the future, it's well documented what happened when, and it's easy for people to digest it and go back. Because I do feel like there can be a hurdle for let's say, and WWE fans right now that love wrestling, that are sick and tired of WWE's product. They see that LPW is in town, right? They hear about it. They look them up on Instagram or APW. I'm not trying to single out anybody. They look up wrestling promotion number 17.
Yeah.
And that wrestling promotion doesn't have X, Y, or Z on their social medias or YouTubes or whatever.
Right.
Some people can feel worried about going there because they're not sure what the fuck they're going to get.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? They're jumping into a company that's 25 years old, and they're like, well, who the fuck are any of these people, and why did they matter to me?
Right.
Right. And so for me, I just feel like something I would love to do in this industry is to create historical records and make sure that the future is taken care of, so that those answers are always there for them.
Perfect.
So that a new fan can find the history. Because I'm not a fan of gatekeeping. I'm not a fan of, well, you weren't here when Vern won the first title, so why should you be here for the next one?
Right.
No, fucking get the butts in the seats. I don't give a shit.
Right. No, I feel you. I feel you. Perfect example. Last year, it had to be last year or earlier this year. Fuck. It was myself, Randy Shawn, Leo Sparrow, Johnny Pierce. Was that it? Was it a 4-way? Might have been a 4-way. My mistake if I'm fucking missing anybody. And in Lucky Pro, myself and Randy Shawn have pretty much been there since day one. I wasn't booked for the original Lucky Pro show, but show 2 on, I'm your guy. Since 2014 to 2019, myself and Randy Shawn pretty much had a blood feud. So for the first time in 5 years, Randy and I were in the same match, but for a fatal 4-way. So we purposely set it up that Randy and I would not touch each other until like the last 5 minutes. And we had it set up that all of us were just down on the ground, I believe. And then Randy, Shawn, and I would be the ones crawling up on each side of the ropes, walk backwards, click our backs, and then just do a slow turn and then build from that. Well, since it's been 5 years and the crowd isn't the crowd that it used to be in Clinton, the response wasn't what we were thinking it was going to be. So internally, I was like, shit, it's been too long and not everyone knows what's going on. Shit like that. You know what I mean? Because if it was the crowd that remembers everything, for me and Randy to have a face-off should have been enough to blow the roof off. You know what I mean? So,
see, thank you. I said some crazy random shit and you gave me the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because I would love to have been able to have as much historic accuracy for that.
Yeah.
So then guess what? We have an archive. Boom. And I could have put together a fucking hype package, since the Rev dude is all about the hype, ladies and gentlemen. And I could have been like, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be hyped because they are going to be they're going to be in this match.
Yeah.
And they're going to get their hands on each other for the first time in X amount of years.
Yeah.
and the WWE does that all the time.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It's no one's fault. It's just,
of course.
It's just a crowd that missed out on what was happening in the 20 teens. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but Randy and I knew, and the people, like, there were still people that have been there the entire time. So there was a reaction, but it wasn't what it could have been.
Of course.
Right.
But my brain, I mean, also I'm a systems analyst. So my job is to look at something, see the flaws, and then find a systemic fix for those flaws. That's my job. My job is to do that. So since I literally get paid, my brain already works that way, but I get paid to do this. My brain just thinks, well, God's cool, but now we can start archiving this shit. So the next time that happens, we can put out a package and then people understand the severity of it and we'll get that fucking pop because I want that fucking pop. And it wouldn't take me in 20 minutes to put a fucking thing together. Come on. I can archive this shit. Let's get it going. It's going to be a pain in the ass.
Oh, 1000%.
It's going to be a huge pain in the ass. But when it's done and it's built and it's beautiful, then you're just like, look at this fucking treasure I have right here.
Boom.
Like, it was a sloppy mess 5 months ago, but it's fucking treasure now, baby. Because we have the thing going. You know, let's say you and Monty go back, well, he lost the title, I guess, but let's say you and Monty get back and you guys fought over that title plenty of times, right? You guys go back for that title or anything else. We could pop in this one. This isn't the first time this is round 47 for these guys and they know each other and there's that extra ringside. They just bring so much more to the presentation. It really enhances it.
Yeah. And people can sink their teeth into it and understand the reasons of what we're doing and why we're doing it. That's
exactly.
That's it.
That's just something I would love to be able to do because it's not done as often as it could be done.
Right.
Not to say it never happens, not to say people suck or whatever, just saying it doesn't happen as often.
Correct.
And it makes sense because maybe they just didn't have a guy who said they'd fucking volunteer.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't have a lunatic who said, give me 600 tapes, I'll figure it out.
And that person's name is the Rev Dude.
The Rev Dude. Ready and willing to fucking sort it out, man. Just to go through the tapes and be like, all right, write it down. They literally have, like, the WWE has archival people. Their job is to watch. They will.
I knew one of the people. I'm friends with. Well, I don't think he does it anymore, but I'm friends with someone who used to do that. So it's crazy. It's crazy. And they have to whatchamacallit, they had to write down certain timestamps also.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. Corey Von Quest, he was on the podcast and he talked about his time with WWE and what he was doing, and it's similar. It wasn't necessarily archival all the time, but it was the same shit. Like, so why not? If you can get somebody, obviously, a lot of the times it's people who are wrestlers, maybe not know anything about film, but me being the film nerd that I am with the bachelor's degree, I'm just like, this would be cool to preserve it. I want to preserve the history and have it be able to enhance the next fucking hype package. So, there you go. It's in the universe.
Oh, manifest it.
Manifest it. There you go. All right, so I have like two more before we wrap it up because I can't believe it's been fucking 3 hours, and I'm pretty sure we need to get on the road for tonight is EWA Maine.
Oh, Joe,
somewhere I can't even remember where the fuck it is at this point. My brain's so wrapped here right now in this. So how about I'm taking it back to the beginning here. We talked about wisdom and knowledge and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest, deepest lesson professional wrestling has taught you about life? Not about wrestling, but what has wrestling taught you about life?
To not take it seriously. And I mean that in a sense of like, it's one of those things that it's just hard to explain, but like, or stop taking yourself seriously, right? Have fun, communicate with people, network, like let your guard down and just be yourself instead of just being like someone who's just like mad all the time, or just someone who is, just like mad, angry, nitpicky, dumb shit. Like, just relax, have fun, and live life. That's what we get to do for the 10, 15 minutes. We get to be out there, express ourselves non-verbally, and everything's through physicality, but like we get to be the superheroes that we want to be in the world, or the villains, but just have fun. Stop taking shit so seriously. Live in the moment and don't take it for granted. That is one of the biggest things that I got from wrestling. And I mean, like I said, I'm going on 14 years. It took me a fuck ton of time to even realize that, because I was just so uptight about shit. You know what I mean? And just like, enjoy the view. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. Enjoy it. That. And do you know what I mean? That. Because once you get to your destination, what, are you done? And then you're like, oh shit, I'm here. And then you're just like, I don't.
It's over?
Yeah. Fuck that. Fuck that. Enjoy it. Enjoy everything. Is like I said, don't be serious. Enjoy it and just live in these moments that you have. Because not everyone is a fucking pro wrestler. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. Yeah. It's so hard. And to do it for as long as I've done it and to stay consistent, you know what I mean? Fuck. That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. It is, I mean, just as a 40-year-old, I can say so much that's true. I know that what really has always kind of transposed, because, if we put it in the context of wrestling, there's so many people who like just can be overbearing. Well, that's not my wrestling. Well, maybe that just wasn't for you in the first place, man.
Right.
Like, somebody else is there having fun. Like, yeah. I like to say that I am actually a huge proponent of the placebo effect.
Okay.
Right? There may be something that somebody else is doing that, in your opinion, is stupid, right? And to you, what they're doing is a placebo, and they're dumb for doing that thing. But if the placebo is working, then who gives a shit if it's a placebo? Don't pop their bubble.
I'm very happy you said that. This is something that I've obviously I've had to work on myself, but like more so than not, and especially over the past couple of years, anytime I talk to anyone, and whether it's interests or whatever the fuck, and they're like, oh, well, I'm into this thing and it's kind of stupid. And I'm like, you're into something stupid? And they're like, it sounds stupid. I'm like, do you find entertainment in said thing? Yes. Then it's not stupid. It's something you enjoy. At the end of the day, if you are into something and you're not hurting anyone, it's not causing anyone harm, it's not illegal, it's not stupid, it's your thing, And I've noticed that every time I explain that or say that to someone, their shoulders lower, the tension in the room leaves. I have to get in front of 100+ people in small spandex underwear while I have baby oil on, I have eyeliner on, and I have leave-in wet conditioner in my hair. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's something that I enjoy. I'm trying to beat my opponent to win the match, but I'm not hurting anybody. I'm bringing entertainment to a crowd of people who are paying to see this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it coincides with your placebo effect. If someone's like, I like it, but it'll sound stupid to you. Nah, that shit sounds dope. You like it? I'm not gonna yuck your yum. Not gonna do it. Fuck that.
Right.
And that's how, and since I've adapted that and have that as like an outlook on life, my life has gotten 10 times easier, and it makes people easier to talk to because they bring their guard down, because everyone's on the defense about something. Fuck that. Interact. We only have one time. We only have one go around on this dirt ball. Fucking interact and be good to each other. That's it.
Right. I mean, if we're going to talk about positivity, I'm going to talk about my yogi here, the Bang Man, right? Mr. Dallas
Mr.
Page.
Dallas, yeah.
You got to talk about positivity. But if I'm going to shout out a philosophy, I just did one. I just did the exact YOLO one, so I shouldn't do that one again, even though it works in this particular instance. But I'll actually steal one from my brother. So I guess I'm going to put this on here because he says he listens to my podcast. So we'll find out if he actually does, because I'm shouting him out now. I have a brother who is very, very disarming, and what he does works on two levels. So let's say for this particular instance, he's talking to somebody who's talking about something for the first time, and they say the idea of something. No, I like something. It's dumb, whatever, blah, 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 blah. He's always been very, even at a very young age, disarming to the idea where he's like, yeah, I don't know about that. Can you tell me more?
Right.
I don't know. I don't, can you tell me more? And I've seen it like switch people to a different level, like you're saying, just switch different level. And it also almost works in the reverse example as well. So especially back in the day when we're kids, we're in school, yada, yada, yada. Somebody might say something like, I love this show. And somebody else is like, I don't know what show that is. I don't know what movie that is. I've never heard that band. There was a time, especially when you were younger, when people would be like, make fun of you because you're ignorant, which doesn't make any sense. And then be like, oh, well, you've never watched this show. What's wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That same philosophy that he has also works for those instances. Because he'd be like, his answer, something like, have you ever watched this movie? His answer would be, I've never seen it, but I'm very interested. Can you tell me about this movie?
Perfect.
And once again, in the normal conversation where people would be like upset or reactive in a certain way, or they'd be like, whatever. Now he's drawn them in.
Yeah.
And been like, I don't know. What did I miss? Tell me.
Yeah.
And then they get excited once again because now they're sharing. They're like, they realize in that moment that now they're bringing someone else into their fandom, into their happy spot. And they can teach them the wisdom. So instead of looking down on this woefully ignorant ignoramus of sorts, they're like, oh, I now have I am your Messiah. Bring me with me. Now you can understand what,
Bro, that mind state makes life 10 times easier. Example, just what you said, me growing up, wrestling, I caught shit for just because, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't the popular thing for popular kids. Right. I'd be the kid in middle school and in high school wearing like an ICP t-shirt. Do you know how much shit I caught every day from other people who just had to make it a point to go out of their way to be like, ICP sucks. Okay, cool. Don't fucking listen to them. Problem solved.
Fuck you.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
right. Man.
Fuck. They're like, what the fuck? And the shit that I'm into is not everyone's cup of tea, but it brings enjoyment to me. I get real emotions and I get real feelings from them. So that means it means something to me, and that's all I give a shit about. And I'm not, again, not hurting anyone. I'm not doing anything illegal, and I'm not breaking any fucking law. You know what I mean? So.
Right. It does sound like we need to get you a JCW show, man.
I've already been there.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've wrestled for the Gathering like 2 or 3 times. I did, I've done JCW a handful of times. I did JCW at the Worcester Palladium in 2025 for the Juggalo Day weekend. So I'm boys with all those people. So yeah.
Fucking OGs, man.
Yep. That's it. That's me. So, but yeah, like my childhood wasn't bad at all, but there was obviously like the shit being a kid and then a teenager that is just lawless, you know? And at that point, like I didn't take anything to heart because I'm like, well, yeah, no shit. It's not for everybody, guys. Like, what the fuck? If everyone liked it, it probably wouldn't be that cool then, you know? Like, or I wouldn't find it cool, you know? So, but
Yeah, no, I mean, I went through the same thing. I was actually like voted like most, what's the superlatives, right? So it was like, I was like Mr. like, voted Mr. Coulda, woulda, shoulda of someday be a WWF superstar. That was
Sick.
WWF wrestler because that's what it was called back then.
Yeah.
WWF wrestler. I was gonna, and in fact, in my yearbook for that one, my I'll never forget it. One of my favorite teachers, Mr. Nesgodi, he wrote a thing saying like, "Don't get your head knocked off in wrestling, kid." And
yeah, that's awesome.
Same thing with Mr. Yacht. Shout out to Mr. Yacht.
Mr. Yacht.
Mr. Yacht. Mr. Yacht fucking was very cool about that stuff. He would be like, he's like, you seem pretty smart, but you won't shut the fuck up about The Simpsons. I was the Simpsons did it guy before The Simpsons did it was a thing, guys.
That's awesome.
I literally was
That's
like,
awesome.
I literally be like, well, you could do that, but like in Simpsons, like they actually did this already and it kind of worked out. And they'd be like, why does everything have to go? Like, I don't know. There's just so many episodes. There's like
so many episodes,
Simpsons
but there's so many things that you can compare shit to. You know what I mean? And again, it's something that brought you joy, entertainment, and all this other stuff, but you weren't hurting anybody. So what the fuck does it matter? Yeah.
I can't say that. Luckily, being so vocal about it, I was able to get my own crew of wrestling nerds, and we would do wrestling pay-per-views at different people's houses and shit.
Sick.
And
that's awesome.
It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Vinny, he probably never watched one of these in his fucking life, but Vinny, he always fucking had the more expensive pay-per-views like WrestleMania or Survivor Series, so I'll sneak over to his house. Andrew, Steven, Poncho, love you guys. Thank you for always fucking watching wrestling with me, babe.
Dude.
Those were my boys in high school for sure, man. We fucking did it.
That's so dope. Hard. That's so dope.
All right, so final hype time, as we like to say. Can you tell the listeners where they need to find you, where they need to follow you, where they can grab your merch? Do you still sell your own fucking Funkos? I know you had the selfie one, right? You had the selfie.
So it was a sticker. It was a sticker, and I still have an absurd amount because I thought back in the I had that made in like 2016, 2017 or some shit. No, 2015. I had that made, but the sticker company I went through was like, you have to order like 500. And I'm like, all right, cool. Bro, it's 2026 and I still have like, I don't have that many left, but I have them.
I know we have them.
Yeah. At my merch table, they're only like $2. But like, if you buy like a shirt, an 8x10 or something else, I'm like, just here, take them, please. Get them out of my fucking face. You know what I mean? For a gimmick that I don't even do anymore. So you can find me on Facebook, Vern Vicallo. I have my actual like Vern Vicallo normal page where you can send me a friend request, but you might not be able to get through on that because I have like so many people pending and I'm almost at the 5,000 friend mark. I have Vern Vicallo, a like page on Facebook that I'm really not that active on, but when I return, I probably will be. Twitter, at Vern Vicallo, what do you know? Or X or whatever you call it. And then TikTok, at Vern Vicallo. Not really active on it, but I got some shit on there. And then finally, Instagram, at Vern Vicallo, where you will see I'm extremely active, where I post stories, I post like me at wrestling shows. That's where you see all my Celsius posts and all this other shit. So it's just first name, last name together with the @ symbol in front of it, and that's where you find Deliciously Vicious.
You know, I just have to say it because my brain for a split second there thought I would not say this on air, and then I was like, no, I'll just say it on.
Nah, fuck it, hit me with it.
I have to fucking tell you that genuinely, Deliciously Vicious sounds like the greatest fucking flavor of Celsius I haven't tried yet.
You know what? If that's a goal, if that should be a goal of mine,
sounds fucking phenomenal.
We'll I'll jot that down, right? I'm gonna jot it down, and then we're gonna manifest it and put it out there into the world.
That, at the very least, should be a dope ass sticker right next to selfie-made man. Okay.
the unlimited fucking selfie-made man stickers that I can't get rid of. But no, so
that's why I have so many. That makes sense now. Because I feel like I've got a couple from you.
Dude.
So.
please, at this point, if you see them on the table, just snag one or two and just post them somewhere. I don't give a shit anymore. But no, my plan is whenever I come back, when I come back, I'm gonna have a gang. I'm gonna have a bunch of shit. Like I'll have updated stickers, updated 8x10s, updated shirts. I'm contemplating getting back into the rubber wristband bracelet game just because that was pretty beneficial for me. But yeah, once I'm back, I'm gonna have a line of new shit and it sells. That's the one thing I'm very blessed and grateful for. When I have stuff that like fresh off the presses, that shit sells like crazy. And then I think I'm good and I reprint it. And then that's when I get stuck with just stock. And I'm like, fuck, just buy my stuff. Oh, and one more thing. Pro Wrestling Tees. I think that one is prowrestlingtees.com/deliciouslyvicious. I have like fucking 10 shirts. I have 3 shirts that I've never physically printed to sell at shows. So, one for specific reasons, because it was kind of a touchy subject, but I thought it was a dope idea in hindsight. And then one to commemorate me wrestling at the Gathering of the Juggalos in 2019. So there we go.
No, that's awesome. And that's great. I was going to ask you about Pro Wrestling Tees. I literally had my finger up like, well, what about?
Yeah,
and you're like, boom.
It just
after 3 hours, you're reading my mind now. After 3 hours, you're reading my mind.
Yeah, that's funny. I can't believe we've been going for 3 hours. This shit's crazy. But when we have shit to talk about, it works.
Exactly. Yeah. So, genuinely speaking, I appreciate you coming on, sending. It's ticking 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 31 seconds as of right now as I say this. With me on a Saturday. I very much appreciate and respect it. It's definitely one that I've been looking forward to for a while, especially since my buddy Jack from work was always like hyping it up, and he's like, "You got to get this guy on. I love this guy."
That's fantastic. And
so I can't wait.
Jack, you have to watch this now. So
right. I'm gonna make sure to send stuff over to him. He's gonna be I almost thought about it. Should I do it? You know what, dude? I'm just gonna do it. It's my fucking show. What am I talking about?
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna. This is my fucking show. I'm always like, well, that's not. You can't do that rule. What rule? It's my fucking show.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm literally gonna I'm gonna do it right now. It's kind of a two-parter here because the selfie-made man. I'm gonna literally go on fucking. I am on for people who can see it now. I am on Snapchat sending Jack a Snapchat, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, Jack, guess what? I'm literally live right now with my audience with Deliciously Vicious,
Vern Vicallo.
There you go.
Yeah.
You were waiting.
Jack, you waited for this. You got it, brother. Now you need to watch the whole thing.
Now you got to watch the whole fucking show, and I'll send you the whole thing. Don't worry about it. And I'm gonna fucking send this to him right now. There we go. Mm-hmm. Boom, done. Sick. And he's gonna be like, "Yeah, okay. You do that. You do that. Boom. Yeah, you're my buddy, man. My buddy. He's been asking about this one genuinely for a while. So
that's awesome. I appreciate that. And I appreciate being on the show. Like I said, I haven't done a podcast or I haven't done like a sit down interview since like December 24. So this was nice. I feel like this is something, not saying like I had to get it out of my system, but like it's nice to be able to do these, you know? So I appreciate you having me on your show, you know, us shooting the shit for like 3 hours, almost 3.5 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's dope. That's so cool.
Right. No, I appreciate it. And for anybody wondering, the next episode is Killa J, I want to say.
Oh, hell
Killa
yeah.
J.
Hell yeah.
Young, talented PAPW training. Yep. Way down in Connecticut with Paul Roma, you know, fucking legend.
Phenomenal.
She will be on the podcast. Very excited. She's I've seen her at LPW. She was in the Battle Royal at the last one.
Yep.
I think about it, I've seen her a couple times for sure, and I've seen her in so many other fucking places. We could be here all day trying to name places of everybody who's been. But that's the one I want to say is next on the docket. And yeah, once again, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone else, right? For anybody else, we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Peace out.